which part of the body is affected by blepharitis? 215-263-WMMR. And we will go to Ron, see if we can get the answer. Hey, Ron, good morning.
Pues sí, señor y señorita.
Buenos dias.
Yes.
Hey, which part of the body is affected by blepharitis?
That would be both your eyelids or one eyelid.
Eyelids.
All right.
Yes, correct. Kathy, I think we've diagnosed you.
Yeah.
You should look that up. Kathy
hell
had
is that?
swollen eyes recently.
You got to cut me, Mick.
Look up blepharitis.
Is that why you did that?
It is. I saw it, and I'm like, this is perfect. All right, so hang on, bud. We're going to set you up. You got a family 4-pack of tickets and meal vouchers to the 3 Ice Championship game Saturday, August 12th, Wells Fargo Center. For a limited time, you can score tickets for just $10. Go to 3ice.com to take advantage of this special offer. That's the number 3ice.com.
She called up pictures of sufferers, and then she recoiled in terror and quickly changed the page.
Really?
I can't look. It's not what I have. A lot of them are like oozing and like
I got to see that.
crusted shut. And
All right, I'm going to hang on to that.
It's kind of like pink eye? Worse?
Yeah, it looks a little bit like that.
All right, I got me some entertainment stories to pass along. We'll start with this. Leah Remini is taking the church Scientology to court.
Interesting.
That is
It's a big step.
Herculean battle.
Well,
because they have deep, deep, deep pockets.
That's how they got past everything. They have basically a lawyer army ready to go.
Yeah, what L. Ron Hubbard found out, and if you watch the Going Clear Scientology documentary, is that religion is where the money is at. When you're tax-free and you can ask people to give it to you because they better give it to you or they're not going to get the hereafter that they want.
Right.
They will fork it over, and that's exactly what's happened with this, and they have lots of cash.
And by the way, when you watch these documentaries and you see El Ron, I hate that guy. Like, I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he talks. You know,
strange person.
And how, how did he get all those followers? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Throughout the history of mankind, there have been people who have followed other people for various reasons. In this case, though, I wonder if she's been so consistent and she knows where bodies are buried, basically, because she's been in it for most of her life. We'll see how it plays out. I'm curious.
Filed a lawsuit on Tuesday accusing the church and its leader, David Miscavige, of harassment, defamation, and surveillance. Remini is, of course, former member of the church Scientology. She joined as a child in 1979 and left in 2013 and has publicly spoken out about the church since. So she said in a statement, for 17 years, Scientology and David Miscavige have subjected me to what I believe to be psychological torture, defamation, surveillance, harassment, and intimidation, significantly impacting my life and career. And I believe that I am not the first person targeted by Scientology and its operations, but I intend to be the last.
Hey, good for her.
She wants that to be over. And still no word of Miscavige's wife, right? Like, nobody has seen her in ages.
There was. Recently, I believe there was a spotting, Preston. I remember because I sort of committed it to memory.
Must have been recent, Steve, because there's an article on People.
Yeah, it was very recent.
Okay, so early July, it said that she hasn't been seen publicly since 2007.
Right.
But I guess that's changed.
Now, mind you, that was one news source that I saw, so that could be totally incorrect. But that was the last thing that I heard about that.
All right. Well, we'll see where this goes, and if she's and can make the needle move a little bit, we'll see. Jessica Chastain spoke with Vanity Fair in an interview published on Tuesday about how playing certain roles can affect actors' everyday lives. The Eyes of Tammy Faye actress said that her friendship with Oscar Isaac, quote, has never quite been the same since the pair worked on scenes from a marriage together.
So if I get this correctly, the way they were in the movie and their roles it was hard for her to process. Is that what she's saying, basically?
Yeah, she said that it was intense dialogue that they were playing out. So she said scenes from a marriage was very tough. And I love Oscar, but the reality is our friendship has never quite been the same. She and the actor have been friends since they attended Juilliard together in the early aughts.
That's kind of sad.
She said we're going to be okay, but after shooting the show, I was like, I need a little bit of a breather. There was so much I love you, I hate you in that series. So some of it got, real.
Do you remember, and I know you love the footage of them on the red carpet?
Oh, yeah.
So it seemed like they were, getting along famously at that point.
Yeah. I don't think they dislike each other.
No, I know.
They just need a little bit.
Do you think they hit each other?
That they hit each other?
Right.
No, but I have a story about people hitting each other.
Damn it.
If you want that? Hang on a second. Let me find that. Vanessa Kirby and Joaquin Phoenix are acting out on the set of Napoleon. The narrative focuses on Napoleon Bonaparte's hot and cold relationship with his first wife, Josephine, and the fallout from the couple's torturous divorce. And in one particular heated scene, Phoenix even delivered Kirby an unscripted slap.
Whoa.
Speaking to Empire Magazine, the stars claimed that the ability to shock one another was the secret to their success. Kirby said, "We were using the real words from their divorce in the church. When that happens, you can faithfully go through an archival reenactment of it and read out the lines and then go home. But we always wanted to surprise each other. It isn't hard to imagine that the dense period drama like Napoleon might collapse under its weight. So the actors sought ways to inject some life into their scenes, and that means trusting each other to make creative decisions that might verge on violent." Kirby said, "It's the greatest thing when you have a creative partner and you say, right, everything's safe, I'm with you, and we're going to go to dark places together." And Phoenix, meanwhile, gave props to his on-screen paramour for her gumption. He said, "Look, whatever you feel you can do." I said, "Shame with you." Whatever that
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, he's an actor.
He's just rhyming.
So Phoenix said
This
that
bud's for you.
they gave each other license to slap or pull each other during high-octane relationship scenes.
Wow.
Phoenix elaborated.
Probably during the street racing scenes.
She said, "You can slap me, you can grab me, you can pull me, you can kiss me, whatever it is." So we had this agreement that we were going to surprise each other with that. And
We should have that agreement here,
apparently he hauled off and popped her one.
right? Kissing each other, slapping each other.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Surprise me.
You know, Preston, I know you've gone over and you were in Vienna and you learned about the Habsburgs and the family and Napoleon figures prominently into all of that as well. And the thing that you take away, one of the things I think you probably took away as well, is how much arranged marriages worked into history.
Yeah.
How often that was a preemptive move to stop invasion. It happened with Napoleon. His name was brought up a number of times. And basically what the families would do is have as many kids as they could to marry them off as a form of a political persuasion.
Yeah, you know what series does a lot of that is Game of Thrones.
Right.
Is they use it for political gain.
That's
it. It's
arranged.
Yep, that's absolutely how it works. So, but this movie looks like it's going to be pretty intense.
It's
so.
Ridley Scott. It should be damn good. Yeah.
So on Wednesday, an episode of the Let's Talk Off Camera podcast, Kelly Ripa detailed the awkward experience of having her daughter Lola walk in on her and Mark Consuelos having sex twice. Unfortunately for Lola.
Here, stay around.
Unfortunately for Lola, both incidents took place on her birthday.
Oh my gosh.
8 years apart.
Well, maybe that's the thing they do.
How old? Wait, so how old was the kid?
She was 8 when she walked in on them the first time.
Oh, that's traumatizing.
While the family was vacationing in Italy. And she said, "I encourage him to lock the door." And he tells me he did, talking about Consuelos. All I know is at a certain point, I made eye contact with my 8-year-old daughter who was standing at the foot of the bed. Now, the second time was on Lola's 16th birthday. She said the same thing happened 8 years later on her 16th birthday. Same exact thing. She threw open the door. This time around, Lola was devastated. So the 16 would be worse.
You ever have?
Understand a little bit more.
You ever catch?
Oh,
your
God,
parents?
no.
Okay,
My
so
parents?
I have.
Yeah.
And then
Oral.
I saw my grandmother topless and my mom giving a Hummer to my dad.
Oh no.
And it's
Look
like,
at his face now.
I'm like, I can't even process. Even now, I'm in the room. It's like it's like a Minority Report experience where I'm seeing everything, and I'm like, what do I do?
Rochelle and I were very close to getting busted like 2 weeks ago.
Well, you blasted yourselves on the intercom in the house.
They were too young to understand
Okay,
that.
yeah.
They just thought you guys were playing around.
But now we almost got
They thought you meant the real Eiffel Tower.
full on
Why
busted.
is this so traumatizing for us, though? Like, it really shouldn't
No
be.
one I know, but no one wants to see that. And so when I caught the Hummer, I was 17, 16. Yeah.
Listen, about a month ago, I had to say, was this? No, this was the same incident. Almost got walked in on, and then got interrupted the second time, and I'd go, "Can you just give us a few minutes?
I'm about to.
I'm gonna shoot."
I'm about to.
No, but I said it because I'm like, I'm not even, you know, the first time around, it was like, okay, maybe they're just getting undressed or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the second time, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care that you know. Leave us alone for crying out loud.
Preston, what's with your kids?
Yeah.
I'm
Can
trying
you
to film.
just give us a minute?
They're trying to make love, and I'm trying to film it. You keep interrupting.
That's it. We need Regis to block.
As
to
a
be the
security
wingman.
what's your reason for being here, young man?
So she recalled her daughter saying, "Oh my God, life is over. I used to see in color, and now everything is gray.
Oh, yeah,
How could you do this to me? What's wrong with you people?"
I will say, I think maybe Grandma Topless was more impactful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think what I find funny about that and her saying that is that the shaming of having sex is supposed to go from the parent to the child,
Right.
Not from the child to the parent.
But I don't follow. What do you mean?
You know, like if you were to catch your child doing the same, you would, shame,
Right, yeah.
not the other way around.
It's usually that it's rare that the kids are shaming the parents or that they're feeling shame.
So she said that the moral of the story is she never learned how to knock. Hopefully by the time she's 24, we'll be done having sex, though.
How good are the locks on your doors?
Jamie Foxx paid a special tribute to his sister, Deirdre Dixon, on Instagram on Tuesday in honor of her birthday. Alongside a photo of the actor wrapping his arm around Dixon, Fox wrote that he would not be here without her, following, of course, the undisclosed medical complication that has left him hospitalized or had left him hospitalized in April. He wrote, "Happy birthday to my beautiful sister. You are magical and you are beautiful and you are the courageous lioness." And he added, "And without you, I would not be here. Had you not made the decisions that you made, I would have lost my life. I love you forever and ever. Happy birthday, sis."
So he's been candid, and he said that he is going to expand on what happened to him, but there was a fairly decent length video of him talking about the experience, about his gratitude for everyone who sent well wishes. He specifically mentioned his sister and other family members. He firmly believes they literally saved his life.
Very curious.
Yeah, he was right up to the precipice. Yeah, I am curious as well.
All right, here's a follow-up on Zachary Ty Bryson from Home Improvement. Brian. His fiance, Johnny Faye Cartwright, is showing her support for the Home Improvement alum amid his legal troubles. The 30-year-old model said that she will, quote, always want what's best for the father of my children following Brian's arrest last week. So this is not the gal that is involved in the lawsuit, in the criminal case.
This isn't, okay, so this isn't, she wasn't attacked by him?
This is his fiance showing her support. She said, "Trauma can bring struggles in many shapes and forms. It's a horrible situation that's going to be spun in so many ways. I've learned firsthand the truth will never align with what's been put out there." She said, "I ask everyone to please be respectful of our privacy for the sake of the children and our family so the healing process can begin." Because they haven't identified who it is yet.
Right.
So that just makes me assume that it wasn't her.
I don't know the specifics.
I don't either.
I would see domestic violence as a red flag.
The pair who got engaged in November 2021 are parents to 3 children. He also has twin daughters with ex-wife Carly Matros. He was arrested. I'm sorry. Erected. Boner. He was arrested and charged with 4th-degree felony assault, 3rd-degree robbery, harassment in Eugene, Oregon on Friday.
Where was that, Preston?
That was in Eugene, Oregon.
Eugene.
He was previously charged with a similar assault in 2020 after allegedly strangling a woman. He pled guilty to 2 misdemeanor counts in 2021, was sentenced to 36 months of bench probation, and was to have no contact with the victim, as well as the other standing conditions of domestic violence sentencing. So
during that last news story, I said boner.
Look, he's got a boner.
How about that?
So
I wasn't even talking about anything that sounded like boner, and yet I said boner. Like a boner.
So I don't know what the story is. I don't know who the victim is in this.
He
whole
clearly
thing,
has
so-
a massive problem, and as you said the other day, he's got to get his ass right.
Yeah, man. Big time.
Or else throw his ass in jail.
All right. Elsewhere, former Bachelorette Gabby Windy.
I love you.
Appeared on The View yesterday and revealed that she is currently dating a woman.
Huh.
As a public figure, she told the panel that she has decided to share this information in this way because she didn't want to, quote, live and not be living my full truth.
All right.
And she said, I don't want to do that to myself. I don't want to do it to my girlfriend.
We have what Whoopi said.
The Dancing with the Stars alum also shared photos of herself with her girlfriend, whose name is Robbie Huffman, to Instagram and wrote, "Told you I'm a girl's girl."
Boner.
I gotta quit snorting, man. I've been doing that a lot lately. Boner.
Boner.
About 20 minutes ago, I said boner, and I can't get it out of my mind. It's cracking me up. We'll get back to that family burning in the fire. Boner, where did that come from?
All right. As romance rumors continue to swirl around Jennifer Hudson and Common, one thing is for sure: the Dreamgirls actress is fond of the Come Close singer. TMZ spoke with.
I'm sorry, wasn't Common just with Tiffany Haddish?
Oh, I don't know. Were they a couple for a little bit? TMZ spoke with the EGOT winner about the pair's rumored relationship on Tuesday. She said, "Rumors say a lot of things, but he's a beautiful man. I will give you that. That's for certain." So I don't know.
I've watched a bit of her. She handles her talk show fine, but it is like every other talk show that's on during the day. I don't give it much time.
I've never seen it. Jennifer Hudson has a talk show?
Yeah, she's a talk show. It's very Ellen-esque.
Does she sing on the talk show?
She a little bit. Not She doesn't do like Kelly Clarkson, which is constant. Kelly does karaoke.
That's right, she does. Lindsay Lohan shared a mirror selfie to Instagram on Wednesday, providing fans with her first update since welcoming a baby boy to the world last month. And she said, "I'm so proud of what this body was able to accomplish during these months of pregnancy and now recovery. Having a baby is the greatest joy in the world," she wrote. She said, "My OOTD
What is that?
lately." I don't
Outfit of the day.
know. Thank you. You knew that?
Yeah.
Thank you. Our fashionista.
Our teen member of the show.
I know anagrams.
My OOTD lately is my Frida Mom postpartum underwear.
Boner.
She said, "Because I'm not a regular mom, I'm a postpartum mom."
All right. I'm going to say this: the pictures of her where she's let herself not go. She's being more natural, I think, in these pictures.
She looks happier.
Quite good.
She looks happier.
Again, I really like her Netflix Christmas movie.
Yeah. All right, Love is Blind alum Nick Thompson spoke with the Daily Mail recently and said that he regrets appearing on the show. He said, "I lost my job last November, and I'm having an incredibly hard time finding a new one." He said, "I burned through my savings that cash out my 401k. I've got 2 months left in the bank to pay my mortgage. I can't get a job because people don't take me seriously. I was a VP in software for 5 years, so it's not like I don't have a track record of experience or success." He went on to say that appearing on the show, quote, ruined his life completely.
Wow, that might be a little bit of hyperbole, but
Yeah.
It might have made it more difficult.
I mean, Rochelle had watched some of Love is Blind. I'd caught little clips of it here and there, but are you like the douchebag on the show? You know, because sometimes that can ruin people's reputations if they take that role in reality programming, you know?
And it's funny you should bring this up. I just watched a documentary about extreme home makeover.
Okay.
And the slant of this documentary was how many families were destroyed by that participated in the show. And
from the results of the new house?
Results of the new house. Because what happened was they would go into these neighborhoods and build this house that was fabulously, appointed. The taxes would go up.
Okay.
Then a lot of times they would put these rooms in the house that were tailored to family members, but that were like you when you did your thing and you had the splash in your kitchen.
Yeah. Made it hard to sell.
Then they couldn't sell the houses to cover their debts.
We had somebody on who talked about it and said, yes, that's absolutely true. This happens a lot.
I believe that. And also a lot of times in neighborhoods, if you have the like the most sexy house.
Exactly.
It's not as easy to sell.
Exactly.
You know,
if it's in a less than attractive neighborhood, and
Right.
yet you have this estate.
Yep, it's hard to sell.
There was a whole list of houses, and the people were sort of sheepish too about it because they're like, all these people came together to do this nice thing for us, but like, it was horrible.
Interesting.
yeah.
So this is a documentary?
Yeah, it's a I'll send it to you. It's on
Okay.
YouTube. Yeah.
All right. Finally, he said that he wishes he could just go back to having a nice life that I had built for myself instead of wondering whether my mortgage is going to get paid. So he's blaming the fact that he was on this show to kind of ruining his financial life.
Don't go on those shows then, maybe.
I don't know. Interesting. Let's touch on the strike a little bit. Deadline reports that the Writers Guild of America is scheduled to resume talks with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, which is the AMPTP that you've heard about, on Friday.
Right. They wanted to wait until after the belly flop challenge?
Of course, yes. This comes 3 months after the WGA first began striking on May 2nd. The Guild said in a letter to its members on Tuesday night, we'll be back in communication with you sometime after the belly flop championship. No, after the meeting with further information. As we've said before, be wary of rumors. Whether there is important news to share, you will hear directly from us.
Boner.
The chief negotiator told the outlet that there hasn't been any movement on their end. This is of the SAG-AFTRA. And said, we have not heard from the AMPTP since July 12th, and they told us we would not be willing to continue talks for quite some time.
Something tells me that if were they to conduct these things, because a lot of times they're in kind of these bland rooms where they're having these negotiations go on.
Yeah.
If you mentioned Game of Thrones, what if you did that kind of negotiation in a room with lit torches along the walls?
Oh, yeah.
Like add some gravitas to it, right?
In the Red Keep. That would
there
be
you go.
awesome. I think that's a great idea. We'd add some drama
Right.
to the whole thing for sure.
Here to discuss residuals from Hulu.
By the way, celebrities are showing up in droves to support their fellow actors. Deadline reports that following in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's footsteps, a list of stars who have donated $1 million to the foundation now includes Meryl Streep. You know, she's the mother of Gummer.
Yeah. Gummer.
Oprah Winfrey, George and Amal
Say your name is Gummer.
Clooney, Luciana and Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio, Hugh Jackman, and Deborah Lee Furness.
Matt Damon.
Nicole Kidman, Jennifer Lopez, and Ben Affleck. You gonna play a little tribute to them too?
Matt Damon.
Jennifer Lopez.
Apologize to Jennifer Garner and her pool boy Ben Affleck for incorporating them into my fantasy.
Was the skull sealer there, Preston?
Apologize to anyone who's been
Apologize.
offended by my fictional creations, Chrysagon, the philosopher of evil, and the skull sealer.
Well, okay then.
Also, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, Julia Roberts, and Arnold Schwarzenegger as well. They've all been ponying up. So, yep. One more quick story. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Scream fans can now look forward to a 7th film in the franchise. Christopher Landon has been tapped to direct the pick, taking over for Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette, I guess, who directed the last 2 films. So there's going to be a 7th
So
one.
the Jenna Ortega's in the last one, right?
Yeah.
Don't know, was she?
I believe she is.
Okay. Love her.
Yeah, the series, I kind of enjoyed the first one, didn't really enjoy the second, and that's where I tapped out.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been a massive fan of it. Once you get past the conceit that it's sort of a meta take on horror movies, it kind of wears thin.
I saw a trailer for what looks to be like one of the stupidest movies I've ever seen, which then might actually make it successful.
All right.
It's called Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse. Is it a sloth?
It's about a serial killing sloth.
Oh, okay.
All right.
No, not that
not
sloth.
that one? Okay.
Like the 3-toed sloth.
Oh.
Is this like Sharknado type of?
It is no.
we're looking
it's-
at it.
It's not cheesy for the sake of cheesy like those movies are. It just looks dumb. So let's put that on your radar now.
So I did, man.
Slaughterhouse.
I watched the Winnie the Pooh horror movie. Did you see that one?
No, I saw clips of it.
So it's trying so hard to be
Yeah,
culty
yeah.
that it's terrible.
That's probably what this is like too. But
You can do it and do it right, like Violent Night,
right.
or you can try too hard and then kill it.
But the sloth in this looks too much like a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
So
It'd be a terrible killer. They're so slow.
I know, and they're probably having fun with that.
I got you.
So yeah.
But they do have those claws.
All right, let's.
If you walk into
I
them.
do like a sloth.
Let's do the clips here. Poisoned, the dirty truth about your food is an expose of the food industry and its role in the spreading of foodborne illnesses. And here, food safety expert Bill Marler shares what he hopes consumers will gain from the new documentary.
I think anything we can do to, hold companies accountable and hold our politicians accountable, is really a good thing. And I think, for those that watch the movie, you'll see the work that's being done, and I think that'll help people, decide, to sort of step up and help.
I'm gonna eat, goddammit.
When I was in junior high, we learned about the jungle.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Now, I didn't read it, but I read about its impact.
Right.
Did you ever read it?
I did.
Was it good?
It was for school.
Yeah.
So there was that
I mean, it's
Paul cast on
it's
it.
fictitious, right?
Yeah.
It's a fictitious story, but it opened
addresses,
up
yes.
the doors about cleanliness and safety and all that in the food industry.
I've
right?
since seen a number of there so much of it is right. There's a whole bunch of horrible things that go on in food preparation, and I know it, and yet I will sit down and eat an Oreo. You pick your battles.
I mean, listen, if you're talking about mass production,
Yeah.
you can't be perfect.
Yeah.
It just can't be. You can get as close to perfect as you can, but there's going to be things along the way that happen.
Look at the story, and I don't know if you're going to get to it, Preston, but I'll blurt it out here. The influencer who died eating an all-fruit diet, and she basically starved herself to death slowly because she was not eating properly. She was going to try to evade all of this stuff, all of this mass-produced food, and eat naturally and just eat fruit and so on and so forth, and she starved to death. So there you go.
Poisoned, the dirty truth about your food is available now on Netflix. Here's our next clip. Passages is a steamy new NC-17 drama from director Ira Sachs.
Mommy lied.
And in this clip, Boner. And in this clip, he explains what's really behind the film's seductive scenes and erotic themes.
Love, like really wanting to make a film about love and its complexity and intimacy, and wanting really to make a movie in which the audience feels very close. What they do in front of the camera is quite aesthetically and erotically and emotionally engaging.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be my regular Saturday night thing, baby. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Passages.
Boner.
Passages comes to theaters tomorrow, by the way. All right, and there you go. That's our entertainment report for you this morning. All right, well, we're going to have Marlon Wayans on the program this morning.
Yes.
We're going to have Tom Papa on the show today as well.
Two goodies.
They both have shows coming up in the area, so we'll chat with those guys a little bit later on. But let's go ahead and take a break and come back in a second and get to other things when we return. So stay with us because we will not be gone long, friends.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
It's plant-based chicken nuggets.
I've had them.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you have? Because so have I, and they were the most disgusting things I've ever eaten in my life.
Well, then I've had different. So Hip City Veg has the best chicken nuggets I've ever tasted, and there's no chicken.
Okay, so this was sort of like, it looked like it was dark meat, but it wasn't meat. It was plant-based, and it had like a breading around it. It looked really good, and I was like, oh, I'll try this.
Right. Not good.
I was like, what is this? What is this texture? What am I eating?
So they use
Plant or
seitan.
not?
I guess it is seitan, right? The often used for chicken substitute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and the Satan actually cooks them.
Wait till you try this.
But they're Casey. They're excellent. We actually put them out at a party.
Yeah.
And people had no idea.
So we have a vegetarian living in my house. My oldest is now a vegetarian, more pescatarian, but we have a lot of Impossible meat in our house now.
Right.
And we do the Impossible ground beef a lot, and it's damn good. You know,
I love it.
Yeah, my wife will make
and Preston's right in the. It's not exactly But the taste, I like.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
good.
the Impossible taste.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily taste exactly like beef or pork or whatever it is they're trying to simulate, but whatever it tastes like tastes good to me.
Yeah, and when you're making things like nachos, like my wife will make nachos for the household, and she'll crumple up the Impossible burger meat or whatever on there. You can't tell the difference.
Dude.
Not when it's got the cheese and the salsa and everything else with it.
I'm telling you, that Impossible cheesesteak from Wilson's,
Unbelievable,
was fantastic.
Unbelievable.
I couldn't stop eating it. It was excellent.
Get me the biggest cheesesteak fan in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Sit them down and give them one of those.
And don't say, all right, tell me if this tastes like meat.
Right.
Just say, eat this, and does it taste good?
Yeah.
That's the difference. So somebody who is a hardcore meat eater might say this ain't no meat or whatever. No, just set that aside. Does it taste good or not? Okay, and because that cheesesteak at Wilson's Secret Sauce is fantastic.
And what was the ingredient?
Loved it.
Was it seitan?
No,
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't
think
know.
he uses Beyond or Impossible.
I'm not sure exactly what he uses.
I
You'd
think
have
it's
to ask him.
impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at what I had, and this restaurant changed, right? It was one healthier restaurant to the next, and they had chicken on it, and so they were called chicken. They were called chicken strips. Well, now they're just called strips, and so I ordered that thinking I was getting the chicken, and then realized, but it says plant-based, so it's a plant-based strip. It doesn't say exactly what's in it, but I'm assuming it's similar to what you're
I
talking
want
about.
plant-based strips, Mommy.
So Impossible Foods is describing this as having a golden, crispy breadcrumb. Oh my God! I can't believe I said that.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm interested in your chicken strips.
Stop it.
What's that special ingredient again?
It's a little salty.
Breadcrumb.
Do you guys buy that? Because I just made some.
It's great.
Here's audio of the chef, Preston.
You're gonna be my regular Saturday night thing, baby.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
I think I like your reaction more than the actual flub itself. You're like, I just can't believe you just said that.
All right, having golden, crispy breadcrumb coating
You're working in the kitchen today. Where's something low cut?
and a juicy and springy white meat texture. How was your weekend, Jackie Bam Bam?
Oh, good. How was yours, Press?
Very relaxing.
Right.
How about you? Did you relax? You
I
never
heard you
relax.
tried on some jeans. I was getting
did.
worried about my leather pants and my roostered hair for the MMRBQ, more importantly.
Do you ever wear shorts?
Nah, but I do shave my legs if you need to know.
Okay.
But wait,
No doubt. No doubt.
Why? Why do you
'cause of
shave
the-
your legs if you're not wearing shorts?
No
Spandex.
offense to Steve, but I think the hair should be on the head, nowhere else.
Okay.
You know.
So you shave everywhere?
Everywhere, yeah.
Really? Armpits?
I've been trying to do a contest or a little promo with Casey Boy, but it's just not happening. Sales department. I want to shave Casey Boy.
I don't want to do that.
Why?
Because I don't want to
You
do
should
that.
come get laser hair with me.
Oh, you get your beef
Remove it
laser.
permanently?
Yeah.
I follow you on social media. I'm like, where does she get this done at? I could do that.
Oh, come with me.
I will.
All right.
Do you shave your armpits?
Cut that out, what she just said, Casey.
Do you shave your armpits?
I do, yes. You want
Let's
to take
see.
a look? Yeah.
Yeah, they're short.
All right,
Yeah,
there you
sure
go.
enough.
Very nice.
Okay, he's a shaver. He's
Your ass crack?
He's an O'Hare guy. You're one more step closer to Romano, man.
Yeah, Romano.
We have that in common. Wow. Okay, so this is interesting. Chrissy Teigen has admitted, listen to this,
Her again.
she underwent a cosmetic surgical procedure to have fat removed from her cheeks.
Okay.
Per a recent Instagram story she shared.
Isn't that kind of her look? She has.
She does have
she's
kind
a very
of roundish cheeks.
she's
Yeah.
clearly a beautiful woman.
She wrote, I did that Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal thing here, she said.
The Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal?
I guess so, yeah. Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal. She
I can't say
Dr.
that again?
Diamond buccal fat removal.
That's amazing. I can't do that.
Dr.
Diamond buccal fat removal. Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal. Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal. There you go.
That's pretty good.
Thank you, sir.
Now do it backwards.
I can't do that. Fat buccal diamond doctor.
Wow.
Well, I left out
Yeah,
removal
yeah.
fat.
Oh, way to
All
go.
removal fat buccal diamond doctor. I'm reading it. I can see it written here. So
Still good.
Still pretty good.
removal fat buccal diamond doctor.
I will say this after Dr. Buchal's fat removal, that she looks different.
Yes.
Well, it's sort of that what we were talking about. Who was it yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
It was Tori Spelling.
Tori Spelling. It's
Terrence and Phillip.
Yes, it gives that Terrence and Phillip look.
If you do too much, it looks like she got not like almost too much. It's,
Right.
she's
Not as
flirting
much
with
as
it.
Tori.
With Dr. Buchel's fat removal?
Wait, what's buccal? Because his name's Diamond. What's the buccal?
Dr. Diamond Buchel fat
I assume the buccal is the kind
Procedure?
of fat.
Oh.
It is, or the buccal fat removal.
So it's Dr. Diamond Buchel's fat removal.
Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal.
Okay, it's not plural.
Maybe someday they'll have a Dr. Diamond buccal fat replacement.
Yes, and fill those cheeks back up again.
Exactly. Theater royalty in the form of Kristen Chenoweth, Julie Taymor, and Lin-Manuel Miranda welcomed back boisterous audiences to Wicked, The Lion King, and Hamilton for the first time since the start of the pandemic, making Tuesday as the unofficial return of Broadway. Chenoweth surprised the crowd at Wicked by appearing on stage for a speech at the same stage where she became a star years ago. And she said the fitting line, she said, "There's no place like home."
Right.
Coming back there. And the crowd hooted and hollered and gave her a standing ovation. You can hear him hoot.
It's not a hoot.
Several hoots and a couple of hollers. That'd be kind of scary.
It would be terrifying.
Yeah.
I think that the actress would walk off the stage.
Taymor, the director and costume designer for The Lion King, congratulated her audience for the courage and enthusiasm to lead the way. She said, "Theater as we know it is the lifeblood and soul of the city. It's time for us to live again." And Miranda at Hamilton summed up the feeling of a lot of people when he asked, "I don't ever want to take live theater for granted."
And by the way, I did not write Hamilton. I have to know. Yeah. You know, Preston, I have a love-hate relationship with Broadway, and because there's wonderful things to see.
Yeah.
But those theaters are designed for people from the 1870s.
Yeah, they're tiny.
And unless you're a dwarf,
But it is super exciting going.
It is
to one of those
amazing.
shows.
It is
It is
amazing.
also super expensive to go.
Oh, my
to
God.
one of those
$200 or
shows.
$300.
It's
That's it.
insane.
Yeah.
The first time I went to Broadway, I'd gotten comp tickets, okay, because of my job. I was a music director, and it was for Rent, and Rent had a soundtrack and all this stuff. And so the record company got us tickets. I'm like, wow, man, that was a great time. We enjoyed the hell of the show. It was amazing. And I'm like, we should go back and see that again sometime. And then we went to go back and see it, and we paid for tickets. I'm like, oh my God.
They offer packages though that are actually really good deals that comes with dinner at you can choose from a number of restaurants and things like that. So at least it's
hotels sometimes and an organ transplant.
But just anything in New York.
Anything in New York.
You get a cheese sandwich, and they're like, "That'll be $14." You're like, "What? It's a cheese sandwich, though."
Oh man.
Oh, that's right. We're in New York.
One last story. John Mellencamp revealed to the Indianapolis Monthly that in addition to recently recording, he and Bruce Springsteen actually painted together. He said, "Bruce and I have done 2 paintings together."
This is my house, and this is the smoke coming out of the chimney, and this is me and my family holding hands, and that's a daisy.
He said, "We have a..."
That's a turkey. I made it with my hands.
He said, "We have a painting that we worked on for 2 days straight."
Yeah.
He said he painted one side, I painted the other.
That's the whole.
And he also said Bruce had never painted at all, and he was really good, really into it.
Have you seen any of
Mellencamp stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
He's accomplished.
How come
Now,
my turkey looks better?
I don't know if he does realistic stuff or
Right.
not, but he definitely does some cool
Impressionistic?
things. Yeah, it might be considered impressionistic. I guess.
Excess paint, and it blends all this together.
Yeah, this is it.
There we go. We're painting mountains, as you know. You always want the top of the mountain to be more distinct than the bottom of the mountain, because at the bottom we have mist, and now we have wonderful pollution.
So before I knew that I had ASMR,
Right.
and I was a teenager, I would sit there with Bob Ross on, smoke a little herb and just sit there and
Get
just
lost.
absolutely zone out into it and have no idea why I liked him so much.
Did you ever get inspired to attempt to paint along with him?
Oh God, no.
Okay.
I have no artistic ability whatsoever. I had, at a younger age, I had tried. I had a friend who was a decent artist, and he gave me a canvas and Steve. There was a house with chimney coming out of it, and a daisy and a family. I mean, it was just terrible. It was horrible.
Curly smoke coming out.
Oh yeah, just bad. The sun in the corner.
Yeah, with the lines coming out. Yeah.
With the rays coming out of
You
it.
can't see the whole sun, but just a quarter.
Anyhow, he said he said about Bruce. He said, "I was surprised at how hard he tried. He was like, how do you do this? How do you make this?
WMMR.
Some of us have had a rough start to the day. I woke up at 2 a.m. for no particular reason and just laid in bed for like an hour and a half trying to go back to sleep. That didn't happen, so I left early. Was just going to come in. All right, I'll come in. I'll get a jump on some work. I'll get some stuff done.
So this will work out.
This will work out fine. Whatever. I'll just, I'll be tired later on today, but I'll get some things done. And then there was an overturned vehicle on the Schuylkill Expressway, and I sat in traffic for a half hour, which never happens at 4 o'clock in the morning. So that was the start of my day. And then I get in, and Nick comes in and tells me that someone stole his food out of the refrigerator in our break room.
Not cool.
Not cool, right?
Super not cool.
We use that as a placeholder for your lunch, your snack, whatever it may be. And what was stolen, Nick?
Every other day, I like to go to Wawa, and I get 2 soft pretzels and 2 bags of the apples that they sell, the little sliced apples.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that 2 days ago. Yesterday, I had the first half of that, and then I put it back in the fridge. And so the thing that annoys me the most about it is that's all it was, a freaking soft pretzel and some apples.
But you were expecting it to be there.
So I get in the morning, and the first thing I do is I see Steve as he's walking in, and I go to the fridge, and it's not in there, and I'm like, well, it's got to be my fault. Like, it's missing. I just can't see it.
There's no
way.
Well,
way.
You were out of the studio, but we may have solved the mystery.
Oh.
And Kathy knows something.
I don't think that anybody stole it.
Oh, did it get tossed?
Well, so yesterday I went into the kitchen and there was somebody in the kitchen using the microwave, and she was like, oh my God. She's like, I just spilled my soup all over the microwave, and she was cleaning it. She was cleaning out the microwave. She goes, and right after Bill Weston cleaned the whole kitchen. So I think...
Was it refrigerator purged day?
I don't know, but
Listen.
I know that he cleaned the kitchen. He may have gone into the refrigerator and also cleaned that out because we know he does that periodically.
2 things. There is a sign on that fridge in this kitchen,
Yes.
and then there's one in the other kitchen, the newer kitchen that we had, that say the fridge may be cleaned out periodically, which is fine. I can accept that. However, it had been in there for less than 24 hours. It's not like it's trash at that point.
Right. Marissa pointed out that very fact to address that sign.
Oh, I think I saw it like on a television show that said this fridge will be cleaned out every 3rd Thursday of the month.
Right.
That's
Like, give a
acceptable.
date.
Not
You
randomly.
can't just like yours had been in there for less than 24 hours and probably got tossed.
It's a soft pretzel and friggin' apples, and not for nothing, but I was looking forward to it this morning.
I can tell you, I walked into the room. I was going to just start conversations. I always say hi to Nick. We chat a little bit in the morning. And I saw a young man standing in an open refrigerator, and I knew something was wrong.
Steve, I went back.
I could read that look, and I'm like, this is not good.
I checked like 3 times.
I'm still stuck in this sign. It literally has like a biohazard like mask on it and says like whenever I'm annoyed, I'm just gonna clean this out.
Right.
So like put things in here at your own risk. At the shared refrigerator in our office with all of these employees. Good luck.
I know. There needs to be a specific day.
A day on the
That's done, 'cause that's not cool.
I like the notion of the 3rd Thursday of every month. There you know that you have a time frame.
Well, because here's the problem. There's no designated person that cleans it out. So the periodically is like whoever opens it is annoyed and happens to decide they're going to clean the fridge that day.
Yep.
But this is the reason this must go back to I think it goes back to like college years, maybe even before that. My brother's like eating my food, but I don't trust anybody with anything. Like I would never put anything in a communal fridge, and if I did,
you have your own fridge.
But if I did, it would be contained in like my lunch bag, not a plastic bag, because that can get tossed. Like my lunch bag, if I can embroider my name on it, I will, because not that I want my food that much, but I just don't trust anybody else. Like it's going to get taken, it's going to get thrown out, like whatever it is.
Now, mind you, I'm sorry. I understand the impetus. Like I'll go in there sometimes, and like the sink. Clearly, somebody poured something into the sink, and didn't just run the.
Just run the faucet.
Just like so those little things that will annoy you over time, or cleaning the coffee station or that area, or even just making coffee in general. That's another story. But so I get it when it becomes overwhelming. But the fact you just bought it. And it's thrown out like 11 hours later.
I don't mind somebody cleaning the fridge. I don't mind somebody keeping order in there. But I think Bill's a little OCD about this. And that's just not.
Now, we still don't know if Bill, in fact, did it.
Come on.
Let's just blame him.
I know we are assuming.
Do we call him?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
And by the way, whoever the person was you ran into in the kitchen, they had spilled soup. Could you imagine the conniption?
I'm going to kill you.
Soup spilled in the kitchen.
I mean, he threw away Chuck's soup
What are
bowl
the cop cars up front for?
He didn't like the look of Chuck's soup bowl, so he threw that away.
Yep.
You know, that bothered him so much that he's throwing away other people's property, and now he's tossing my pretzel.
We could
Maybe.
yes,
Yeah.
and then we
You're
have to, yes, I mean, it's possible. And I would understand Bill's desire to clean out the fridge every once in a while.
Sure.
He's taking, and you're very, we're all accommodating to that. But again, I think a regular time
Steve,
interval.
So, to me, a Wednesday is not a good time for it either. It's middle of the week, you know, and like maybe on a Friday or even a Sunday night or Monday morning.
Bill should
whatever,
come in Sunday night.
Yes.
Maybe a Monday is a good day because maybe
Start
stuff
anew.
is left in over the weekend, and our part-time staff is probably not going to. If they might accidentally leave something that's going to stay in there all week, and they won't get to it till next week, and that can be tossed out because by then, you know, it's damaged goods.
Have you used the refrigerator? And so
I use it every day.
Nick was mentioning so we have a new cafeteria area that's lovely, and it has a refrigerator in it. I've never done anything in that area at all.
Oh yeah, I don't go into that.
I don't go into that one.
There's 2 fridges in there, I think. Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Two of them?
Yeah, I looked at both of those today.
I think maybe it just got moved around.
The hopes.
All right, well, we have that, and if anybody wants to share their office fridge thing, feel free, 215-263-WMMR. And then we have a whole other subject involving food with Casey, and this has taken place over time. Do you want to share?
Yeah, well, I'm actually annoyed that it took this long to talk about it because I straight up had like crap stolen off of my desk.
We were hoping to set up a sting operation, but it's past that.
Here's the deal. And I can still facilitate that, just I have a camera. But we did actually mention what was happening on air in passing and not give it this attention.
I don't believe we did. I do not believe we did because I'm livid about it. And I had a bin of blow pops, lollipops.
Right.
And slowly but surely, the blow pops just started disappearing out of the bin. And then one day, the entire bin was just gone. I think there might have been 1 or 2 blow pops left, and so
this is Casey's designated workspace
in
the studio.
We're the only ones that this is the Preston and Steve studio. We're the only ones who use the studio.
Yeah. And I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, that Connor checked old video, and like let's say the show on Friday, bin was there behind me because you can see it in the camera shot,
right?
Okay.
And then Monday. Gone. It was gone.
So you had what was the bin made of? Was it clear plastic?
I repurposed it. What it was a
menstrual cup.
It was a menstrual cup. It was big. It was big. It was for a great big person.
Yeah, it didn't work for me, so I gave it to you.
Now you know those little pretzel nuggets that had the peanut butter inside of them.
Yeah.
So it was one of those.
It's a decent container.
No, yeah. So I'd eaten all of the pretzels out of that, and then I put this really cool Delco sticker on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I filled it with I had a bag of blow pops and I filled it with that.
You had actually decorated this container, and someone threw out your decorated container,
or they stole it, and
stole it,
sitting in their house somewhere.
So you had the blow pops in there. How many do you think were in there to start?
Oh, like an entire bag of them.
Okay,
you know,
30, like 20 or 30.
Yeah, like,
okay.
So at least. Yeah. So now I got these little Tootsie Pops, right? So it was like a bag like that.
Okay.
It started like that.
Casey, I'm sorry if you said this. Did you have to? Were they in the desk or on top of the desk?
Right there, where Alf is right
on
now.
top, right in the corner. I would see them every morning when I walked in.
Yeah.
And you just Kathy used to just stand there and go,
I love lollipops. No.
Slowly but surely. One by one, you probably didn't notice for a while.
No, because I was taking them as well. Like
Okay.
I might have, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 lollipops a week or something like that. So they were slowly, but like
not extravagant.
Not extravagant, but they were. I was like, man, I'm not eating these that fast.
Disappearing at an accelerated rate.
Exactly. And then the entire bin was gone. And I was like, this is a bunch of crap.
Yeah. You were furious. You were furious.
Yeah. It's not your stuff. It's not yours.
However, though, if you have candy in a dish on your desk, Isn't that inviting people to take
If someone is not there at their desk, no, I would never do that.
Right.
I
just asking.
I will say if someone has what appears to be sort of a communal thing, and I will ask. For example, Gunner has a bowl. Kevin Gunn,
mini chocolate bars,
mini chocolates, and sometimes I'll say, "May I have one?"
Yeah,
and there we go.
So wait, hold on. And like one or two, or if it's a communal dish, you don't finish it, and then you don't take
the dish.
container that it was in.
The container was gone.
Why not your computer? It was right next to it.
Yeah.
This studio is like it's kind of a private office.
Right, it's not communal.
You have to make an effort to come in here.
Yes,
Right.
the door is hard to open.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's no
It
reason
is.
to come in here if we're not here.
You know, we should have the same rules that they have at the Library of Congress. You cannot come in here. Like, you talk about skiffs, you know?
Yeah.
You got to come in here with a guard.
Yeah, so Trish Long in our sales department has a container of Dove chocolates. And I was over there talking to her. I was like, "Oh, Dove." She's like, "You can have one." She's like, "They're for anybody." She's like, I barely even touch these, and they're there for everybody. But
you still ask.
Well, I'm not going to go there right now. She's not in work. I'm not going to go to her desk and be like, "Ooh, don't mind if I do."
Yeah. Ooh, feminine hygiene products.
No, you're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that either.
It's inappropriate. That's why the notion of grabbing stuff this way and the balls to throw away or at least steal the container is outlandish.
Or, how about being in somebody's house and, hey, help yourself with whatever's in the fridge. And then you just come back 3 days later and they're not even there. Like, you said, help yourself.
Let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a list of suspects?
Well, I thought it was Jackie Bam Bam.
We from the very beginning, we were like, okay, it's Jackie, but you confirmed it's not, right?
Well,
because Jackie's got a track record with stealing pens and chewing on them.
And he also has a massive sweet tooth.
Have you asked Jackie directly?
I have.
And what was his response?
He said no.
Didn't he also say no to the chewing of the pen caps?
He did,
yes.
And then we also found the graveyard of chewed up pens.
On top of
Uh-huh. So I don't necessarily trust Jackie.
Jackie's honest, though. He is wonderfully childlike, though, and I believe if caught might.
Yeah, right. Like he'd kind of laugh about her and be like, you
But
caught me.
also, the container was taken and tossed.
Yeah, that's rude.
It's not just the lollipops. The entire container is gone.
They were like, here, let me finish Casey's candy and then toss his container for him.
That's like if someone invited you to go into the refrigerator and you ate all the stuff you wanted, would you throw out the refrigerator?
No.
Makes no sense. All right, well, we're gonna come back to the lollipops. We have someone on the phone line now.
The investigation continues.
Yeah, and he doesn't know why he's on.
Oh, no.
So I think Marissa woke him up. So,
Dateline.
Let's go. Man About Town, are you there?
Good morning, Preston.
Good morning, Bill.
Be serious now.
Yeah, did we wake you up?
No, I've been up for quite some time.
Okay.
Were you by any chance cleaning out your refrigerator?
No, I did hear a little something about a missing sucker.
All right, no, that's not
you.
That's not what we're confronting you with, I guess. May I just ask him directly?
Ask him directly,
Bill,
because we want to give the option, and
Absolutely.
There's every possibility it was not him.
Did you clean out the break room refrigerator yesterday?
No.
Oh. All right.
Then I'm going to issue a blanket apology, Bill, because we thought maybe you had thrown away some stuff that was in there, including a soft pretzel and apples that were mine, and so I think I preemptively blamed you, and I'm sorry.
But you were also, I'm going to have to stick up for you here a little bit. You were very fair. You said there's every possibility Bill didn't do it.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm. But you were the reason you were a suspect. I'm sorry to interrupt. The reason you were a suspect, Bill, is because. Somebody was mentioning yesterday that you were tidying up the like very much cleaning up the kitchen, the break room, and doing it very passionately.
I was brewing a pot of coffee. It takes about 3 minutes, and during that 3 minutes, I could stand idly by, or I could clean up the counter, which is what I do. By the way,
yeah,
on the front of that refrigerator, it says,
"Yes,
don't keep crap in here because it could be cleaned out at any time."
Good point.
We think we have an addendum.
Issue. Yeah, we have an issue with that because if that is indeed the case, if someone went in there with the intent to clean out the refrigerator, they had thrown away some freshly bought stuff that was put in there by Nick. and that's not cool. So we were thinking that needs to change to a specific day of the month, a la the first Wednesday of the month or something like that, so that people, you may not know that was just placed in there, that item,
Strange as it seems, Preston, I agree with you.
Ding, ding.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Wow. What about here's another option for that. Maybe to put something on top of on the fridge door that would hold Post-it notes and a marker where you could put the date of whatever you are putting in the fridge on your food.
I think that's good. But, Bill, I'd also go one step further. I would encourage the employees to do what Kathy has said. A personal container instead of a baggie is probably going to be a bit more secure if you put your stuff in the fridge.
Because then it's yours.
Then it's yours.
And it's not just looking like trash in like a Wawa bag.
Yeah, well, maybe you just eat what you bring that day and don't put in there something for long-term storage.
Well, long-term, I don't disagree with, but the next day, that's not long-term storage. And listen, yes, it was in a Wawa bag, but that doesn't automatically make it trash. If somebody's keeping it in the fridge, that's just something that's being stored for, I don't know, tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that the whole personal container thing is only if you're bringing regularly. If you just happen to make a quick stop off because you forgot to grab
Preston,
something, it should be able to stay in there.
Soup.
Or soup. Bill, how do you feel about soup?
We heard there was a soup incident in the kitchen yesterday.
There was actually soup spilled, Bill, right after you cleaned up. And she was like, Bill was just in here cleaning, and now I made a mess. I have to clean it up.
I saw her putting it in the microwave and it boiled over. I just turned and walked away.
Oh, my God.
The soup.
I don't want to see this.
Okay, well, listen, we believe you. That still remains, though, somewhere in this building is a pretzel thief.
Mm-hmm. And an apple thief.
And an apple thief.
And a lollipop thief.
And with yeah. So
oh my God, the company's going to hell.
And we're saying there are less and less people around now.
Yes.
And
more fridges.
We definitely know who took, but like, who does that? Who takes somebody else's little apple slices out and is like, this is what I want to eat right now? Like, it's not yours.
I know it is a loathsome activity at work.
Cool.
It's been forever since office buildings have existed. This has been a conundrum and a problem.
And it's not like you can't get food anywhere else except for that refrigerator. There are several vending machines, Paganos, Joe's. Like there are. You don't have to leave this building at all to find any kinds of food.
So if you guys were to take bets, do you think that my pretzel and apples got thrown away or stolen?
I'm going to say stolen.
I think thrown away.
Oh, what's the rest of the fridge look like?
That's what I was going to say.
It's relatively clean. Preston has his reusable containers in there.
But cleaner than yesterday? Did you notice?
Not really. I mean, there wasn't a ton of stuff in there yesterday, so I don't know.
Bill, when was the last time you cleaned the refrigerator?
Years ago, I helped Tony Perrone scrape an oozing, festering mess off the second and third shelf. It was disgusting. It looked like
we commend you.
Slime.
No, we understand. You're absolutely right. And we did definitely support the cleaning. And the thing that Kathy and I were bringing up is when someone just pours something into the sink and then doesn't run the faucet to wash it down the drain. There's these little things, these little courtesies. So we get it. We just, in this case, I think if we can do a set date that people know is going to be the Great Purge, that would make things a lot more copacetic.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm glad you thought of me as your Felix Unger this morning.
Anything else for Bill?
No, we can let you go, yeah.
All right, Bill, we'll let you go. Sorry to bother you.
Take the day off.
Santa's got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Enjoy the day, Bill.
He's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
He just hung up on you.
Yeah. Oh, my
He was
God.
Wow.
Did we check with our new garbage disposal to see if maybe he ate it?
Oh, no, because he walked out with an entire Pizza Hut pizza yesterday.
Right,
he had no need for apples
Nick,
or...
Kyle makes you look anorexic.
It's ridiculous.
In his consumption.
If you ever see the footage of like those old Polynesian tribes where they go up and there's a mouth with a fire burning in it and they're hoisting food into it. That's Kyle.
You know,
I've never seen an appetite like his.
It is, if you watch like Brad Pitt movies, so many of the scenes that he's in, he's eating. It's like maybe it's an acting crutch for him. I'm not really
Michael
sure.
J. Fox used to do that all the time.
Did he really?
Yeah, on Family Ties, he was constantly eating.
And that's like whenever I see him, I'm like, what's he got in? He's eating chips now. Oh, he's eating a pizza now. Oh, he's eating.
Kyle has told us about his metabolism.
He needs to take in tons of calories.
It's through the roof.
I'm jealous.
He's in great shape.
Yeah. So, when I was in college, our fraternity had 2 suites, 110 and 103. 110 was the party suite. 103 was the hangout suite. So they had a fridge in the middle of the suite, not just in the dorm rooms.
A communal fridge?
Well, they mistakenly used to leave beers in there. So we purged the beers out of 103 so often and so many times that they decided to piss in several bottles of Boone's Farms years ago. I know. And we stole the bottles of Boone's Farms out of the refrigerator.
It's kind of a cool idea.
It is.
Yeah.
So I am, and I'm not saying this, I was the only person who was one of the thieves that didn't actually drink the piss. We were sitting in my room.
Drink the piss.
Dude, we're in my room. And it's straight out of like that Saturday Night Live skit. Like, oh my God. So somebody drinks the piss and they're like, this doesn't taste like Boone's.
It's like Harlan Williams.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. No, but like, I think like 4 of us drank it. And then finally somebody's like, I think this might be piss. And then my friend, I'm not going to name anybody, but like my buddy he was mad at the people for pissing. I'm like, dude.
Nope.
We got what we deserved.
Absolutely.
We stole from them.
Most definitely.
And if you didn't steal from them, you
would have had
drank
no
the piss.
issue. Exactly. Nick, next time, piss on your
Okay, all right.
Yeah, piss on your pretzels. Throw them in there. This text that came in concerning our fridge getting cleaned out, it says, oh my God, this is the very reason that I was fired from a job. I had the gall to complain about my stuff being thrown out. That's from Wendy, who's checking in from Estelle Manor.
Yeah.
So she got fired for complaining about her stuff getting stolen.
That does not seem right.
All right, let me go to some calls because people have been on hold for a long time. Let me go to Bob first of all. Hey, Bob, thanks for hanging on, bud.
Francisco, that's fun to say.
Oh, my man.
That is fun to say.
Francisco, that's fun to say.
All right, Bob, what's your story, man?
Place I used to work, a couple different things. I had a personal refrigerator, and somebody kept going in it. So I put a lock on it. They turned around and cut my cord. I wasn't there one night. So I was a little pissed about that. But the guys, it was a mechanic shop, and the guys would leave stuff on top of their toolboxes, and it would disappear. So one night, all the mechanics got together. They swept the floor up. Guy left a bottle of Coke on top of his toolbox. They dumped all the stuff from sweeping the floor and some oil in. Whoever did it drank that stuff.
Oh, but you never somebody did it and drank it, but you never figured out who it was, or did you?
We never figured out, but everybody kind of knew who it was.
Okay, so for me, the thing would be being able to finally say confront, because whoever, like, you have a personal fridge and they're cutting the lock on your fridge or cutting the wire. I mean, that's robbery.
Let me ask you this, Bob. Did it stop after that happened?
It kept on for a little while.
No, then it didn't work.
Some pedestrian guy drank it. Oh, my God. All right, thank you, Bob.
Man.
Appreciate it,
See,
man.
that's why it's not fulfilling. You want to catch them.
Or if you can get it to stop, at least, it would be great to know who they were. But if it stopped after that, I could see that being a bit of a success. I will go next to Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Good morning, man.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. What's up, Jeff?
We have the communal fridge like a lot of places, and we hired a new worker. And one day, I always bought a box of the Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah.
Kept it in the freezer. I come in one day, I just bought the box like a week ago, hadn't had any, put my hand into the box, and felt nothing. And took the box out. they were all completely gone.
So they ate everything and left the box for you.
Yeah.
Let me ask
Sounds
you.
like my kids.
Let me ask you,
Yeah,
Jeff.
right.
Did you write your name on the box? Not that you had to do that, but did you take any effort to identify that it was your personal sandwich stash?
Not at all, because we've never had that issue before, and we've all been pretty much. We only have this rule that food is off limits. If it's not, like, we all take care of each other. and
Right. I know.
Right.
I think I honestly, as crazy
Thanks,
as it
Jeff.
is, I think you got to do like Kat. Whether you're writing on the box, at least take that step or embroider the box.
Seriously.
By the way, Casey, you're right, saying like my kids. The other day, I was having my coffee. Sometimes I like to have a little cookie with my coffee, something sweet like that. I walked in, I'm like, there's a box of cookies right there in the pantry. It's the only box of cookies in the pantry. I go up, I pick it up. I can tell by the weight, nothing in it. Nothing in it. My taste buds were already in first gear and ready to go. I was so pissed off
So
about that.
disappointing.
I know.
You have relayed over the past year, I'd say conservatively, 200 to 300 stories in the bizarre file about people using samurai swords on people that have taken cookies from them.
That's right.
That's what it can drive you to do.
I'm going to go to, this looks like a bit of a confession here. I'm going to go to Poe. Hey, Poe, good morning.
Hey!
What's up, Poe?
Hey, what's up? I do have a bit of a confession to make. I worked in an office for about 8 months, and there was this big, juicy ball of delicious mozzarella in one of the fridges.
Little
and-
fresh mozzarella, huh?
Oh my God! I just couldn't help myself. It sat there for about a week, and I ended up finally breaking into it on one lunch break. I ate the whole thing at once.
Oh my God!
And then about 20 minutes later, I hear, "Dude, where's my mom?"
Oh.
You know what? I really don't feel too bad about it, because the guy whose mott it was like literally the worst person to work with.
Okay.
If it was anybody else, I would have felt really bad, but I kind of just giggled, laughed it off, and
You were able to process it, yeah.
And never fessed up, right?
no, and I quit that job like 2 months later.
Okay.
So he's going back and he's seeing the mozzarella.
He's the new guy
yeah,
too, man.
Shouldn't have done that, Poe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that it happened to a D-bag, but that you shouldn't have done that.
Wait, Pope, have you ever shared this story before? Is this your first time confessing?
Yes, this is my first time confessing.
All right, if you're out there listening and you had a huge bowl of mozzarella stole,
Poe did it.
Poe did it. Wow,
Thanks,
man. Yeah.
Poe. Appreciate it. Here's Lindsay, the texter, who checked in about the food being stolen. Hi, Lindsay, good morning. I thought it was Wendy. No, I don't know. Hi, Lindsay, are you there?
It is Wendy.
It's Wendy. Okay, there you go. Hi, Wendy.
Correct. Hi.
Hey,
well, I had food thrown away by my boss, now an ex-boss. He would randomly empty out the refrigerator without telling anybody. So, and then once we complained about it, he sent a nasty email telling everybody that it was his company. He was going to do as he pleased. We were all a bunch of babies for complaining about it.
So a real people person.
Up.
Yes.
Oh.
Very bipolar.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
My company,
And-
I'll eat whatever's in here. That is just.
Well, he didn't eat it. He just
Threw it away.
Throw it
Oh, he threw it away.
Okay. Hey, Wendy, I'm not asking. I don't want you to do this on the air, but if we put you on hold, can you tell Marissa what company it is so I can make sure that I never ever patronize their business?
Yeah, they sell fish memorabilia cases.
Well, then never mind. I'm all for it.
It's the CEO of Blow Pops.
So did you end up losing your job because of that, Wendy?
Yes. Yes, I did.
And what were the grounds that they said to fire you?
The grounds were insubordination.
Come on.
All right, let me ask you now. Be honest. Was there?
I responded to that nasty email in kind.
Oh,
to the
okay.
entire company.
Oh.
And
Well,
he came
that might have
down
been
the
an
hallway
issue.
and told me to get the F out.
What did you? What was your response like? Do you remember?
My response was, "Thank you very much. I do not want to work for you. You're an asshole."
Whoa!
Well,
I can't say a-hole.
Yeah.
But no. I mean, in the email when you responded, what had you said?
I basically said that
You're a stinky head.
I was tired of. I'm trying to remember. It's been a little while. I was tired of losing my items that I pay for, and that he was creating a toxic work environment.
All right.
Okay.
That he should be ashamed for, because he told us we should be ashamed for complaining about losing items, and I told him he should be ashamed for creating a toxic work environment.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
I mean, if you can't just say, "Listen, I got it. All right, there's an issue with the thing. Here's what we're going to do." Blah blah blah. You don't just rip into the employees, especially if it's clearly a concern to multiple employees. Yeah. But look, you're all the better for it now.
And one of the funny things was he actually put up a sign as to and dates when they were going to clean out the refrigerator so you could remove your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would just get a bug and go.
And not do it on
he
those
was
days.
violating his own rules. Not cool.
Wow.
Not cool.
Thanks for sharing, Wendy.
So much happier.
All right, well, good. Appreciate
Love
it.
you.
All right, take care. Love you
too.
too. Wow. Some people, man.
I have a bag that has a pretzel and some apple slices. Let's send it to her.
Yeah.
One last story, and then we got a break because we have B-File and a guest coming up. I'm going to go to Will. Hey, Will. Morning, buddy.
Good morning. How's everyone doing?
Great, man. All right, you got something to tell us.
So let me just paint a picture for you. It's the summer of 2017, midsummer. It's really hot. I'm working for a concrete company, breaking out concrete, and I'm living with a group of friends. We got a refrigerator where we all put our food in, and I like to buy that prepackaged turkey for my lunches.
Sure.
So every day I would come home, and the turkey would be missing. It's already rolled up, so it's easy to grab and just take one or two.
Right.
So after a long day of work, I come home, and I have the idea, okay, I'm going to put a couple pieces of this turkey between my ass cheeks. And I do. And the next day I wake up, and the turkey's missing. So somebody ate my ass cheek turkey. So I knew it happened, and I confronted, the group of guys, and, nobody said anything, but my reply was like, "How does my ass taste?" And I hope that person is listening today. How does my ass taste?
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Nice work.
And, of course, nobody reacted. Nobody fessed up, but somebody.
Nobody said nothing.
Somebody sitting in that room.
That's awesome.
Knowing.
Ate your ass. Wow. Good call.
Moral of the story, don't mess with other people's food.
Damn right, man. I mean, that's the bottom line.
It's a complete no. Cardinal sin. Don't F with people's food.
There's something very primal about it.
There's a great
basic need.
There's a great scene in the movie they did with the about the Rat Pack. Where you know the scene I'm talking about, right? Dean Martin. Right. And like a mobster, like an enforcer goes over to take a French fry and he goes,
smacks his hand.
Yeah.
And I remember he goes, "Those are spoken for."
Yeah.
That's what he said. I love that line.
And even in the privacy of your own home.
Where my children play with their toys.
If you have leftovers in the refrigerator and somebody and you're
in
about
my bedroom where my wife sleeps.
You're about to eat said leftovers that are not yours. You owe it to that person to at least text them and say, "Hey, are you going to eat this chicken parmesan that you got last night at Anthony's
Where
restaurant?"
my children come and play with their toys.
That sounds a little too specific.
Yeah. Are you going to?
Might you have more than just anecdotal evidence?
Yeah. Are you going to eat this chicken parmesan and gnocchi that you got at Anthony's restaurant last night? Are you going
really
to,
loved.
Did you plan on eating this, or did you get this for me?
That you were looking forward to with an almost overwhelming passion.
Yeah. Well, Casey, for whatever it's worth, I'm really sorry about your blow pops. That sucks.
Yeah.
I just.
And my Delco bin.
Dude, it's a violation. Yeah. That's a violation. That's not cool. That was on Casey's work area.
And like we said, there's not very many people that work here that we don't know. So it's got to be somebody. They just need to fess up and tell us.
I don't want to ratchet this up off the charts, but I think we know people who work for the FBI. Do we not?
Right, we do.
Yeah, we do.
We do. I know a couple of people.
All right. Anyhow, I'm glad we got. Well, at least Bill's cleared.
Yes,
Bill,
he's not the one.
At least
who,
he got to speak for
stole
himself,
Nick's,
right?
Yeah. Pretzel and apple slices. Sounds like something from a 7-year-old that got taken.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I felt like a 7-year-old.
Oh my God! What about your Go-Gurt? Is your
was
Go-Gurt
your juice box?
Is your Go-Gurt still in there?
Why won't you give me my snack pack?
We got to take a break. We're going to get to the beat file. Marlon Wayans is going to be joining us in a little while. Tom Papa's on the program, too. Stay put. We'll be back in a little bit.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
I don't want to do it. This is stupid.
Like a little kid.
I can't draw.
This is stupid.
I'm trying to draw a cat. Why did you make me do this? God damn it.
He just starts stamping in
Don't want that.
in one
I
spot.
want to play with a ball. Stupid paint.
He would say,
Told you I don't want to do this.
he would say, hey, John, how do you do this? How do I make this work?
Stupid.
He said, we're
It
trying.
doesn't look like anything. I'm not good.
No, you are.
I'm not.
No, you are.
I don't like this.
Trust me. It looks good.
It's not that bad.
He's throwing a tantrum.
He'd rather go outside and play.
Yeah.
You've never done this before. Cut yourself some slack.
I can't. I'm stupid.
You're not stupid, Bruce. You just
stupid.
You just need to work a little harder.
I want some milk.
Okay, we'll go get some milk and then we'll try this again later. Okay.
Bring it in the purple cup.
John. Hey, that's important to a kid.
Oh, of course.
He said, we're trying to figure out how to sell it and give the money to charity. He said, but I was proud of him. He went after it.
Do I get a gold star?
Very proud of you.
I know, but you don't like it because you didn't put it on the refrigerator. So you say things that are not true.
Oh my God.
If you liked it a lot, you would put it on the refrigerator, and you did.
I'm bringing it
and
to
then
work.
you make me feel stupid.
I was so busted
Oh, no.
from the refrigerator to the trash can. Why is this in here? I was like, oh, that was a mistake. I don't know what happened. It must have come off with some of the other stuff. I'm so sorry.
Oh, my God.
I keep that stuff. Kathy throws it away. Jace, come over to my house. We'll appreciate it. Whenever you guys are ready, this is Froggy on MMR. Here we go.
I love nachos. Nachos from 7-Eleven. I know that they're bad for me, but when I eat them, I'm in heaven. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. Liquid topping tastes so good. Post-band practice, I buy them. I eat them in Fiona's kitchen. Best, worst nachos in the world. They're the only thing I want. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. You would have some if you could. I think they taste pretty good. 7-Eleven nachos are like $4.20. That's a funny number, but I should know the price by now, but I really don't. The cheese is so good, it's all bright orange. Yeah! Oh, nachos! And cheese! Yeah! 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 7-Eleven nachos.
I love that. I love the lyric. They taste pretty good.
I love it. And the original recording, I couldn't hear everything where you go, I highly recommend it. I love that. And by the way, you know who's a fan of this band? Nikki freaking Sixx is a fan of Froggy.
He's our best friend.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
He wanted a Froggy t-shirt, right? Isn't that the deal? Did you guys get him one?
Oh yeah, we were like, he was like, how much? We were like, do not even worry about it. We're like, for you, it's free.
Yeah, that's
awesome. Oh, my God, that is the best. I love it. So I want to hear, so, you know, when we ask somebody to to do a song for us, to do a jingle or whatever. You never know if they'll go, yeah, right, whatever. But these guys were like, oh, of course, we'll totally do that. So we were totally psyched about that. Did it take a while to come up with something, or was it pretty easy to come to you immediately?
It kind of came to us immediately. We kind of used the riff we had in store. We just didn't know what to put lyrics with it, and we're like, this is the perfect riff to do it with. And we had 2 drafts of the lyrics, but we came up with something good.
Okay.
And yeah, we're really excited.
So the world debut.
Yeah.
And what is the title of the song?
No title yet.
No title.
No.
Untitled.
All right.
Song.
All right. So I'm excited for this, and I want to make sure we get a good recording of it. This might be our only chance to get it. Unless it ends up on an album.
Sure, in the future we will record it.
All right.
yes.
We appreciate that.
November. I guess it's November now.
It is.
Soon.
By the way, let's check this out, and then we'll find out where any gigs and things like that are coming up. So can we get the Preston and Steve song?
Sure.
All right, let's check this out. Froggy, I'm so excited they're here this morning. These guys, they got heart, man. I love it.
Real
All right,
deal.
whenever you're ready.
We got to have that.
It's Friday. Did you hear that at the end?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's our new Friday anthem if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
Oh, that was outstanding. I couldn't hear exactly what was being said in the middle there.
The third part was no school for me, Mom. I don't want to go. I just want to listen to the radio.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, no, we need that. Yes.
Old
absolutely.
school angst. I love it.
Love it. We're honored.
You guys have any gigs coming up that we need to be aware of?
New Year's Eve at Philomoka with Colleen Green and Joe Jack Talcum. It's
Okay.
going to be awesome. Yep, it's our biggest show. And something early December in the works, not fully planned out yet. We're actually taking November off to record a little something.
Yeah, very nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Well, will you keep us apprised of what your dates are, and we'll get them out for you, man.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
thank you,
And
thank
people,
you.
People who love straight up punk are gonna love this this energy that you guys have.
So that New Year's Eve show, all ages show, or
Yep,
is it
all ages.
Okay. Speaking of ages, how old are we all here? So Morgan, how old are you?
18.
And Brooke?
I'm 18.
And how about you, Fiona?
17.
18, and 17 years old.
They're so damn good, though, man. They really are. It's great.
Hey, what are you guys doing the second or third Saturday in May of 2022?
Nothing that I know of.
all right.
Free.
Yeah, just
I'm free.
keep those Saturdays open. Just
Dude, that would be awesome.
Oh, I'm like, what is he talking about? What is
The
second-
barbecue.
Got it.
And barbecue.
Sometimes it takes Froggy.
Well, this morning I quit my job, so I know I'll be over.
Oh, my God. Wait, Brooke, did you quit your job to be here?
Well, not exactly, but today was just the day where everybody was like, do it. Just do it.
Really?
Yeah.
All right,
Like
that's
an
so
hour ago.
punk. That's so punk of you. I love it. And you're wearing a Ween shirt. That's really cool. Have those guys reached out to you at all? Or is it not a Ween shirt?
We've been talking to Gene Ween's son about maybe collaborating on our album. That was a while ago, but I hope he's still interested.
Yeah,
I
We-
love Ween
Ween's
so much.
great, yeah. Remember there was Push Little Daisies.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
their,
they're out of New Hope, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm a roses are free kind of guy.
I'm a very chocolate and cheese and God Ween Satan girl. Those are my favorites.
Excellent. All right, well, one of the songs we requested, I got a nice slice of pizza here ready for this, was Pizza Ball.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of your LP or your EP that you have, your album?
Sopa de elote translates roughly to corn soup or corn chowder. I picked something random. I was like, guys, I think this will sound weird. We had no idea what to do. Yeah, we just kind of picked.
I love it.
Corn soup is fine. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get one more song out of Froggy this morning, and whenever you guys are ready, we want to hear Pizza Ball.
Woo!
Yeah, all right, let's do this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in live at the Preston Steve Camp Out for Hunger, this is Froggy.
this guy Wayne. He's making this clam chowder. It was what he was known for. And it tasted so freaking good. I had like 10 bowls of that clam chowder. And I tell you what, I woke up in the middle of the night and I said, Mom, and I threw up all over the floor. Someone carried me away, and that's all I remember from that night. Yeah! Time to deliver a pizza ball. Time to deliver a pizza ball. Time to deliver a pizza ball. Time to deliver a clam chowder ball. Time to deliver a pizza ball. Time to deliver a pizza ball. Time to deliver a pizza ball. Time to deliver a clam chowder ball.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's so great. I had to shoot the confetti for Froggy in the end. They finally got pyro, man. I love it. You guys are the best. You are so much fun. We love that you're doing just straight up, just in your face pump.
Yeah.
It is the best. And thanks for writing a Preston and Steve
Yeah,
show
of course.
song. We'll make sure we have information on them on our social media accounts, and you can check them out. Let's hear it from Morgan and Brooke and Fiona. This is Froggy. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
You got it.
We love you guys.
We love you.
Rats continue to run rampant in the neighborhood. It's happening in the 3600 block of Germantown Avenue. Residents say the rats are living in a vacant lot that's not being attended to by the owner. Right next to the lot is a barbershop that's owned by DJ DeSinga. He says the rodents are burrowing into the ground and under nearby buildings. He says complaints have been made to the city, but not much has been done about the problem.
Kathy, did you see that the rats actually started a barbershop quartet? It was amazing.
The rats are even finding their way into nearby homes. One resident said it jumped up on my couch and went onto the floor, and it had claws.
Wow.
I would die if that happened to me.
Listen to them. They're beautiful.
Good old days, 20 years from now.
Wait a minute. Can you speed that up?
Oh, my, these will be the good old songs that are on the...
I can't speed it up while you're... No, not while you're actually playing it.
I shall work on it so we can get an actual depiction
Yeah.
of the rat barbershop quartet.
Yes, it would be, journalistically appropriate.
Right.
to
Yeah,
get
I mean,
that
come on
a
now.
little
We
bit
wanna
more
in part
accurate.
accurate. Exactly. Preston. That's why
Actually,
you won that
I think
award.
better than speeding it up would be like pitching it up. You know what I mean?
Well, whatever. Yeah, somehow or
yeah.
another make it higher. Can you do that? Or
I don't know.
it doesn't
Probably
matter.
not.
You know these will be the good old days.
That just sounds like a key change.
Okay. I'm still...
It's all good.
I'm just playing with it a little bit here.
Listen, it was a threadbare concept to begin with.
You've never produced a rat barbershop quartet before, Casey?
Well, no, but you know
call
what?
yourself a major
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by 3 Ice, 3-on-3 Pro Hockey. It's championship weekend, Saturday, August 12th at the Wells Fargo Center when 3 Ice wraps up its second season. You can visit 3ice.com for a special $10 ticket offer. I can start with a pretty heavy story that I saw this morning. A woman who escaped a cinder block cell in a man's garage in Oregon was abducted hundreds of miles away last month in Seattle, and now authorities are looking for more potential victims across multiple states.
This is amazing.
The man, 29-year-old Nagazi Zuberi, posed as an undercover police officer and kidnapped the woman in the early morning hours of July 15th and shackled, sexually assaulted her, and locked her up. Zuberi has been linked to sexual assaults in at least 4 more states, and they are searching for more potential victims. He's lived in multiple states since 2016, possibly including California, Washington, Oregon, Colorado, Utah, Florida, New York, New Jersey, Alabama, and Nevada, the FBI said. The victim in Klamath Falls, who wasn't identified, briefly slept and awoke to the realization that she would likely die if she did not attempt to escape, according to a criminal complaint. The makeshift cell was made of cinder blocks and a metal door that had been installed backwards so that it couldn't be opened from the inside. There was also an exterior door, and the cell had been built to be soundproof. She banged against the door, bloodying and bruising her hands until she managed to open it. The victim was able to break welds on the door, rip a metal screen off of it, and crawl out. And she had lacerations on her knuckles from punching the door and walls. Like she clawed her way out.
Would not stop.
She then retrieved a gun that belonged to Zuberi and escaped. She climbed over a fence and flagged down a driver who called 911. The police said the victim is strong and courageous, and right now she is physically okay. Zuberi had solicited the victim to engage in prostitution before telling her he was an undercover officer, and he drove her about 7 hours and 450 miles away. He had, when they went into his house, he had police patches, a taser, and other law enforcement equipment. Some of the encounters may have been filmed, by the way, to make it appear as if the assault was consensual, according to the FBI. They said that the victims are threatened with retaliation if they notify the police.
So, I mean, she was a prostitute. Like, she was going to go with him. Like, why do this? Why, you know what I mean? Take her and lock her up? Like, that's just nuts.
He's a psycho. We
That's
wanted to
control.
To capture and control, yeah.
It's like there are a whole list of lunatics throughout the years who have done this sort of captive basement prison type thing.
He was arrested in Reno in a Walmart parking lot where he was with his wife and one of his children. I'm curious about that.
You remember the story? The Judd Nelson movie was made out of it. It's
right.
The guy in, I think it was Germany.
His daughter.
Yeah, his own daughter raised a family right under his own wife.
And that was a true story, right?
True story, yeah.
In his house, authorities seized notes that were handwritten and included a sketch of an underground structure with foam insulation and waterproof concrete. One of the notes featured the title Operation Takeover and a to-do list that said things like, leave phone at home and make sure they don't have a bunch of people in their life. You don't want any type of investigation. So they got this guy, thank God, and they're trying to find out if there are more victims or not. A man who showed up late to his American Airlines flight at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport Monday afternoon expressed his displeasure by making a bomb threat. Authorities
I'm
said
a radio personality.
Authorities said Vincent Carino showed up to the gate, was told the flight was closed, and then enraged said to the gate agent, I'm going to blow this S up. I'm going to take you all out. Well, she called 911.
Okay, get on board.
Deputy Christopher Anderson said the deputies arrested him soon after, and he said, when I attempted to advise him of his Miranda rights, he refused to allow it.
I don't even know Miranda.
Once again, he became enraged and was swearing at me and raising his voice. He appeared in court on Tuesday of charges making a bomb threat, and he could be charged, could be given a $10,000 bond, the probable cause order said, and told him that he could not go on any airport property. His attorney said that he was a truck driver on his way to go pick up his truck from a repair shop when he missed his flight.
I told you the story about I was in line with a comedian who just flippantly made a comment about a bomb.
Yeah.
And they took him out of line, was not able to fly. They took him back, interrogated him, all that stuff. Can't screw around.
Here's the story out of Japan. A man put his unusual skill to the test and reclaimed the Guinness World Record for most drink cans placed on the head using air suction.
All right.
Shinichi Kano initially broke the record in 2009 when he managed to suction 9 drink cans to his head. And his record was later broken by Jamie Canhead Keaton.
Jamie Canhead Keaton. Well, it was his destiny.
He replicated that feat with 10 cans. Kano reclaimed the record by upping the ante to 11 cans.
What did Canhead do?
He said he isn't responding. He said the trick to increasing his can total was learning to create air suction on his temples.
Mm-hmm.
He said you make a wrinkle on your skin, place the can there, push the can firmly towards your head, and ease your wrinkle.
It is just that easy.
This reduces the air pressure between the can and the skin. And he said you can stick it like a suction cup. He said his forehead makes him uniquely qualified for the record.
So we're waiting to see how Canhead responds.
Yeah,
okay.
Canhead has yet to respond. His lawyers have not reached back to us.
These
yet.
are Canhead's representatives. Yeah. Oh, we're actually looking at a picture. This is pretty amazing.
All right, and then finally we'll end with this one. 63-year-old New York man treaded water for 5 hours and made a makeshift flag using his shirt and a broken fishing pole before being rescued in the Atlantic Ocean this week. Dan Ho was found 2.5 miles off of Cedar Beach in Babylon on Long Island Monday. Police say that the man went swimming around 5 a.m. when he was pulled out by the current into open water. After treading water with no flotation for approximately 5 hours, he found a broken fishing pole in the water, tied his shirt to it, and waved the shirt in the air in an attempt to notify passing vessels of his presence.
It's amazing he had any energy left to do that.
Yeah, the effort paid off as investigators said Ho was spotted by Jim Hohurst and Michael Ross. Hohurst and Ross pulled Ho into their boat And they made a call on the radio. Officers responded to the call and met the civilian boat and transferred Ho, who was conscious and alert but unable to stand, aboard and rendered aid for hypothermia.
When they found him, he was using a piece of driftwood and a hermit crab to build a jet ski, Preston.
Ross said that he was treading water, praying that some boat would come by, and he said, I can tell you, no boats in the area, not for miles. He said he was blue and his body was gray. He was shaking, totally hypothermic. We wrapped him in towels. He told a local station that he and Hohurst were in the area where Ho was found because they were fishing for striped bass, and they managed to come across him. So,
I know that area well, yeah.
Man, yeah, that guy could have died easily. That's the last story I have in the Bizarre File for you. Listen, we're going to take a break because Marlon Wayans is going to be checking in with us when we return. He's going to be performing at the Excite Center at Parks Casino. And that will be on Saturday the 12th. We'll be back in a moment with him. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
So good.
There's a Grammy. You're getting a Grammy.
That's perfect. Yeah, one more time. One more time.
Oh, my God.
They're good. They're really good.
I never thought I'd start my day off this way.
They don't have much else to do. Rehearse their parts.
Yeah, that's why they're so good.
Oh, I'm looking at the video of this, and we saw what we thought was a dead rat on our walk the other day.
No!
And, well, it's confirmed. I'm looking at these videos because it wasn't huge, so we
Right.
were like, is it a mouse? Is it a rat? No, it
These,
was a rat.
these are more like like field rats,
Right.
So if you get if you've ever been inside of the
Subway, yeah.
you're gonna see much larger rats.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime now.
Even better.
It's so good.
Even better.
Those talented
Hello,
barbershop.
hello.
That's just.
And they wear the most adorable little white pork pie
Straw hats and stuff. Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are having fun with this. These poor people in Hunting Park are dealing with all these damn rats.
Kathy, you just have to laugh, and same with these guys.
Yeah.
With the cold weather months approaching, neighbors fear the rats will only get more desperate. DeSinger says that he doesn't know how he can bring people safely into his business if there's rats in the drop ceiling. A spokesperson for the Philadelphia Department of Public Health said officials have been in the neighborhood to inspect the rat issue and are currently working to get into the lot legally. It's unclear when the problem will be resolved.
Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you
Rat. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime now.
I would go see a show like that for sure. Wow. I had a little adventure yesterday. Do I have time to share a quick story, or should we break?
Yeah, we need to be out. You got plenty of time.
5:42.
I wanted to share this real quick because it's fresh and we'll never get around to it if I don't. But yesterday I went, and I'm not going to say where exactly I went, but I went to a medical appointment.
Right.
Yesterday. It has nothing to do with my butt or my none of that. It was something
more
else.
Botox-ish.
No. But anyway, nobody's behind the reception desk.
Huh.
But I could get into that area. It was a small little office that you come into, and there's a desk, and then the door that leads back to it was, like I said, it was a medical, so there's exam rooms back there. So I'm standing around, I'm waiting, and I wait about 5-10 minutes. Nobody's coming. And I'm like, okay. And I'm looking around, and I look behind the desk there, and I see a pair of glasses there. I see a glass with a straw in it. I see a pen with some notes written down next to it. I'm like, people have been here. This is not, I didn't show up to the wrong places. They have two offices. I'm like, okay, I came to the right office. I checked. I made sure. I checked my time. I actually spoke to them shortly before I got there. But yeah, you're going to be here. So I'm like, I know I'm on time. I'm like, what's going on? So I'm like, all right, well, I'll sit down, wait a few minutes, whatever. I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. And it's just getting closer and closer to my appointment time. And as I'm waiting, an older woman walks in to the same office. She walks up to the front desk, kind of looks over there. And I go, hey, I've been sitting here for 15 minutes. And nobody's back there. And she had a little bit of an accent. She's like, well, they told me to call ahead.
Right.
And I call, and it says they're closed. And I go, yeah, well, nobody's here. She had kind of like, I can't do a Russian accent, but it was kind of
I
like that.
had the appointment.
Well, not that bad. But anyway.
I called to the phone for to be here to get teeth looked at, and that comment nothing.
All right, so.
Who are you? With your Mr. Lyle Lovett hairdo.
So anyway, she's standing there and she's.
And on weekends, travel to capital city and watch your ladies while they make a toilet.
So she's calling and she's like, I'm going to call again. And she
Is that
calls-
okay with you, pretty boy?
While she's calling, the phone is ringing on the other side of the reception desk, and it goes to the voicemail, and it says they're closed. And so we're standing around. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'm gonna wait around for a few more minutes, and if they're not here, I'm gonna leave.
But you saw like a cup, like
there were clearly signs. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, it looks like they left in a hurry. I'm like, because they left stuff laying out, and I'm like,
did you start CSIing the site?
Well, I said, I hope it wasn't an emergency or something like that. And she's like, I don't know. And I go, yeah. And I go, because look, and I started pointing out the evidence. The more I think about it, I'm like, well, maybe something did happen.
Did you slide the pencil into the barrel of the gun?
And the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, maybe something's going on back there.
Oh, wow. Now
okay.
you're like, so you do these escape rooms, so now you're doing something.
I may need Mission Impossible.
Okay,
Casey, if you don't mind, because says that, and then she goes, well, if I could, I would go back there.
I go back to the rooms.
And I go, well, I could go back there. So we slid a chair over.
You climbed through the window?
And I climbed up over the top of the desk. Now, listen, they don't know this.
Right, yeah.
And they know who I am, and they're hearing this on the radio now. So I jump up on top of the desk. And if they have security camera footage, they'll see this.
Oh, we want to see that.
So I jump over the desk. Right. And as I'm going back into the offices, I swear to God, this is what I'm thinking, Steve. If I round the corner, I might see dead bodies.
God, dude. You don't know.
I might see, there may have been a crime committed here.
Or
I don't know. So
you might see some whoopee.
No. I wasn't expecting that. Or I'm going to be the hero because somebody's being held hostage at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come in and I'm going to save
Russian
the day.
lady, go take care of it.
So I kid you not, I started thinking about my Krav Maga training.
Oh, my God.
You got ready.
And I got ready and I jump over and I'm going, and I swear to God, I'm crouched down like this.
God, I hope they had surveillance video.
So that I would be able to move.
Be safe, hero.
Quickly if I needed to. And I'm like, I've got my back against the wall, and I'm turning and I'm peeking around corners. And I'm going, hello? Hello? And I'm looking around and doing this whole thing. Now, where the big mistake in my training that I didn't do is I didn't grab some type of a weapon.
Yeah.
Some type of thing that I might have
Like
needed.
the
But
straw.
I literally am looking and I'm like, okay, like the FBI would, like I would, quickly look at it and just move over the other way. And I walk through.
Morning show host, identify yourself.
It's okay. I'm a broadcaster.
This is the point in the horror movie where you're like, why would he do that? Why doesn't he just leave?
Totally. Yeah. I didn't even think of that, Kathy. You're right. There's a demon.
Well,
in
you
the
want to try to
hallway.
save the hostages.
So I'm picking it, and there's like seven. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was back there. There's all kinds of rooms that I'm going through, and I'm looking.
The hell is this?
And eventually I see the office is at the end of the hallway, and I'm like, anything's going on, it's down there.
That's the room.
That's where they've got him.
There's a glow coming out from under the door.
And I'm thinking, I literally am thinking there's going to be a guy with his arm around someone with his hand over their mouth and a gun to their head or a knife to their throat. And I circle around and I look and I see that there's nobody there. And I'm like, clear, So, and right
And was
about,
the Russian woman behind you?
No, she stayed
got-
in the waiting room. She stayed
Don't
in the waiting
worry,
room.
I have your 6.
And so what I should have done is open the door so she should come in. She could come in and
Thank you.
and have my 6. But anyway, so I finally there was one other area I didn't go to, which was like it was like a closet. These doors, and I'm like, man, the bodies are in there. And I open it up. No, it's a giant nitrous tank.
Treasure.
I couldn't find anything.
You were back there for very long. What happened?
Nothing. I was looking.
It's a giant nitrous tank, and right then, I hear, come back. I hear the lady yelling for me.
Help!
She's like, no. She's She's like, someone's coming. I'm like, I'm busted, man. She's like, because I thought they were going to be in the room when I got out there.
Right.
She's like, no, I saw them go by the door because it had a glass,
a
glass out into the hallway, and there was another entrance to the back of the office back that way. She's like, I saw them go by.
Quickly,
so I come running back, and as I step back, they're making their way back into behind the desk, and I look up on the desk. And there's a giant footprint from where I stepped. And I casually walk over, Kathy, and I put my hand. I'm like, "Hey, how you guys doing?" And I'm wiping it off.
Clean it off.
I'm talking to him. Never said a word about it.
And they saw you on the other side of the divider.
It was like I was waiting in the room the whole time where I was supposed to be. And they were just running late. They had another thing they had to go do. And so,
what did the Russian lady say?
I thought about telling them. I thought about saying, but I went creeping around in their office.
Yeah, nah, just leave
But
it.
it was the best intention. I thought I was
You
going
were
to be
worried.
saving the day.
It is kind of weird to not unless. Did they say it was an emergency of some sort? They knew they had an appointment. Why not leave a little sign back?
A little
in 5
bit.
minutes?
No, actually, you know what I didn't? I played like lot baseball, vacant lot baseball, and I played when I was a little kid. I played softball, but I never did play little league organized baseball. Would have been fun.
I did.
My kids did,
and I for 2 years, and we always got stuck in the outfield. And at the age we were playing, the ball had never made it out to the outfield. But it was fun. And I said this before. Both years, I up in New York was playing on the Phillies.
Yeah.
When I played Little League Baseball, when I played T-ball, it was weird because you would have the younger kids would hit off the tee and the older kids would hit off of a pitcher.
We never had that.
On the same team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It was weird. You know,
Now there's
way
so
back then.
many.
Now
Is that why they just split them up?
But I do remember stepping up to the plate at the tee and everybody would back up. And I love that. They were like, yeah.
All right, everybody back up. Here he comes.
Back up.
My nephew Luke, who had leukemia a few years ago and is in remission, he made the travel team this year.
Nice.
And it's really cool for my family because he wasn't able to do any of these things for a long time, and now he's traveling and playing. He's so into it. He's got the Bryce Harper sleeve. He doesn't need it, but he just wants to look like Bryce Harper.
Nick, we also made the travel team, and Jace complained for the first practice, and I was like, I was like, we are not doing this. I said, I'm not forcing you to do this. Do you want to do this travel team or not? Because these kids are like, kids want to play. They are really into it. And he was like, yeah, I think I'll just stick with the other team. I'm like, you got it. And it also was a lot of money. So I was like, we're not doing this.
Yeah,
a lot of time, too.
I watched my nephew like his entire summer, you know, and get
and
eaten
it's the
up
whole
by,
summer. Yeah.
But like not just his summer, but the summer for the entire family.
Of course.
And so luckily when Seamus was of that age, just for some reason in our area, we couldn't get enough kids to have a travel team, and we didn't have pitching either, so we lucked out and we didn't have to do that.
We had armies of kids, and our coach, the coach both years, he had 3 sons, and all 3 sons were on the team, and they were the infield basically. So the prime position. No, I was a cleanup batter. I can say that. So.
All right, nice. Well, listen, congrats to those teams. They're all doing well, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And look at this. Our guest is now ready to go. I believe we all set?
Yeah.
All right. He's going to be performing at Parks Casino on the 12th. It's a Saturday, by the way, the Excite Center, which is where we do our Christmas Miracle broadcast.
It's an awesome room.
Excellent location, and we love having him on. Please welcome Marlon Wayans.
Hey. What's up?
How you doing, Marlon?
Early riser.
Yeah, man. It's tough to get
Y'all
up
look
this
all
early.
coffeeed out.
We are.
Yeah, you have what they call
still
bokeh.
crusty.
You have the blur behind you. That's very cool.
Yeah, man, because I want y'all to go, what's in that? It's mysterious.
Where are you checking in from today, Marlon?
I'm in New York.
In New York? All right. So we didn't get you up too crazy early on the West Coast, which would be insane. But
West Coast, I would have hated y'all. Y'all would have brought racism back. I'm like, they did this on purpose. They know we don't like getting up early.
All this for a time difference?
Yeah. That's why they created morning show. They know I ain't gonna make it.
how's your summer been, man? I know you're touring, obviously, but everything good so far?
I don't know. I didn't even know it was summer. I've been in a dank comedy club, so I don't know. It's like stages and dark and cold and humid. I don't know where I'm at. You know, I don't know, Alaska. It feels, people are like, man, remember that? It all blurs together. I swear to God, I don't know where I'm at.
You know, I gotta tell you this, and it's I've noticed it more and more over the past couple of months, maybe like 6 months. I see little clips from white chicks popping up on social media, specifically TikTok, like crazy. And then I see this big push for white chicks too. Is there, because I know the fans are like, would love that. Is there any chance, is that just a rumor of something that'll never happen, or is there perhaps the possibility?
Well, let's think about this. I did. It was the hardest movie I ever did. It was summertime. We had to play summertime in the Hamptons, but we were in Vancouver in the winter. We are two black men playing two white women. We did 7 hours of makeup, and then we worked 14 hours after that.
Oh my God.
I think if you look at what we all made, I probably made $1.50 a day on that movie. No. I will do. I'm gonna do Black Dudes the movie. I make so much more money. I'm gonna do Black Dudes.
Yeah,
two black guys dress up as two black guys, and we go undercover as two black guys.
That seems like an easier way to go.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you something. If white women take 7 hours to get ready, I'm sorry, y'all. I just want to hug y'all. I ain't got to do this. And them heels, man, they got to pay me for them heels. My feet still ain't recovered. Those heels, women, y'all ain't got to do that. We like y'all with no shoes on. Them heels, y'all don't have to do. Men don't care. We'll do you in Timberland boots. Old ones.
It doesn't matter.
Old ones.
I'll tell you this, Marlon. There's a charity event that we participate. Preston is a big proponent of this place. They protect people who are domestic violence. And so it's called Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, and there's a bunch of guys walking in high heels. And you are right, man. Those things will F your feet up.
Yep.
Yo, we got to take better care of these ladies. I mean, when you take her out on a date, don't take it somewhere cheap. She's wearing those shoes. The higher the heels, the more expensive the meal you take.
That's a good way to reconcile.
And if you're a real gentleman, you bring a pair of flats and be like, here, you don't have to wear that.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I love that.
But with all that said, I think it was one of our best movies, and I think you probably will see it at some point in the future. White Chicks 2, but just know that if we do it, Marlon is probably going to be on a jet after that movie.
Okay, all right.
I will make enough money on that movie that there will be a hologram movie to get up this early and talk to you.
Just go the AI route. Let the AI.
My AI clone will be talking to you guys.
I like that. One thing I wanted to ask you as well concerning that, you had the anniversary of Scary Movie, July 7th, 23rd anniversary of Scary Movie. I just saw Scary Movie 2. You guys did a ton of solid movie work, and obviously you had stuff with Netflix. Those two movies, I don't know if we ever asked you, did you guys walk away, or did the movie company come in and sort of finagle things? Did you get screwed out of that? Because you guys created those two movies, were super popular, and then
it's always the movie companies. It's never us. It's not that we walk away. We just walk away from bad deals.
Yeah,
it's at a point. People, the industry and the people that you make money with your ideas think that they can do the projects without you, and they can do a few, but the fans start going, wait. This don't taste the same.
Yeah.
Something wrong. Something off. Where's Shorty? Where's Ray? And, it eventually catches up to you. The things about all the stuff that we ever done, we just go, listen, you're going to pay at a point. We made y'all money. We got to make money. And it's a business thing. And I would love, with the fans, we always going to give them love. But with the business, it's like, I see why writers are striking and actors are striking.
Right.
Because, basketball players are making $50 million a season. And actors are making crumbs and writers are making not as much. And it's just like, listen, we got to make money. This is a business. If you make money, we should make money. And if ever, it's not that we walk away from the project. We just walk away from bad deals.
No.
So we know our value. So if you're going to pay AI, they always go, man, you can't do a White Chicks 2 today. Nah, you can't do a White Chicks 2 today. We can, because we know how to do it. Not everybody can do what we do. Anything we've ever left, it dies.
Yeah.
In Living Color, dies. Without the Wayans, it dies. Why? Because in Living Color, it's something that's crafted from my household. The characters are people we knew in our neighborhood. They're from our experience. AI, as much as intelligent as it is, we can put all the prompts in. It cannot write those jokes because they came from a place that is authentic to an experience. And it's the same thing with Scary Movie, Don't Be a Menace, White Chicks. We never try to make a movie. We always try to make a classic.
Marlon, I love when I'm watching a movie and I don't know that you're in it, and then all of a sudden you show up. And that was the case with the movie Air, which came out last year, and you played George Raveling, who has local ties to Philly. You went to Villanova University. Did you get to spend any time with George? And what was it like making that movie with Matt and Ben Affleck?
I'll answer. Well, first, I often get that, when people see that movie, they're like, "Oh my God, White Chicks is in this."
White Chicks is in it.
They don't recognize me. But he was a white chick. Why he and a coach? And no, I didn't spend time with George. I would have loved to, but I think old black men just want to be left alone. So I didn't get to spend time with George. But I called some people that knew George, and I watched a lot of video on George, and understood he was from Jersey, and he had a certain accent. And so I got to do my research, and it wasn't like we was doing like impressions of the people. It was more of an interpretation. So I got to really embody him in one scene. And it's funny, I did that one scene. They was like, "That's all? Where the rest?" Marlon Wayans. I got to get Best Extra. If there's an Academy Award this year, I got to get Best Extra. And I forgot the last part of your question.
Well, just Ben Affleck did a great job directing it, and it just seemed like
director.
I really enjoyed the movie. It just seemed, and I watched it with my son, who's a huge NBA fan and huge basketball fan. But the rapport that you had with Matt Damon, it just seemed natural. It seemed like you guys had been buddies for life. I have no idea if that was just acting or not.
I met him 5 minutes before we did that scene.
Wow!
and as we did that scene, he and I were sitting there, and we had a lot in common because we both had Weinstein wars. We did Scary Movie. They did, a bunch of movies with the Weinsteins, and so we was just comparing scars. We was like two prisoners that was in cells, and we didn't even know we spent time. We was in Rikers together, and I was in the East Wing, he was in West Wing.
Oh, wow.
We all got raped by the same guy. He was like, "You know them too?"
Yeah, you got to ask Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith has has a couple of really good Weinstein stories.
We've had a few talks, and we definitely had. Yeah, we definitely did. They were savages, man. They were savages.
I wanted to ask you, Marlon, on your Instagram page, you have a picture of you. You're at a boxing match, and you're sitting a few rows back from Evander Holyfield, and you're looking at his ear. And just how, and you make the point. It's like it's more than you thought it would be. How jacked
I'm not
up?
the only one. Everybody looks at that ear. They just don't have the gonads to be like, "Man, his ear is messed up." I didn't have the gonads to post it until my nephew was like, "Uncle, don't post that now." I said, "Why?" He said, "We are sitting here for however long this fight is. This is gonna go viral." I said, "Craig knows." I said, "Uncle, trust me." I said, "All right." As soon as we left, I posted that video. Viral. I was so glad I wasn't there. He would have bit my ear off. His ear is messed up. Yeah. It's like this one is man and this one is dog. It looked like a dog that was in a fight dog. And it was a Doberman that had a fight with a pit bull. And the pit bull was like, "I hate you, pointing ear." And it bit it off.
That's wild, man. So you're there and you're athletic.
I was sitting back in history.
Yeah.
And I was looking at his ear, and Evander was looking dead at Mike Tyson like, "I want to get him again. I want to bite his ear off."
That's wild. Did you ever flirt with? I mean, because you're in shape. Did you ever flirt with athletics as a path, or was it always entertainment for you?
Nah, it was always entertainment.
Yeah.
I don't like getting hit. I mean? Like, I'm pigeon-toed, and flat-foot. The terrible combination. I got black feet. I got the quintessential black feet. That wasn't made. Sports was not made for me. Me and my brothers, our defense wasn't dunking. Our defense was joking. That's the way we. That was our. It's like a skunk has a stink smell. You're like, what is that? It keeps animals from eating their ass. That's what we was.
Right.
Ours was jokes.
Who would be the most athletic in the Wayans family?
You're looking at him. And that's a sad thing. I jump about that high.
Oh man. Well, listen, you're at Parks Casino. This is the Microphone Fiend Tour. You had mentioned about things kind of being a bit of a blur. Or do you have any breaks in your schedule, or is this just plowing right through doing show after show?
I don't want breaks. I want to keep working because as the writers strike and the actors strike,
right?
I want to continue to work as a comedian, as an artist, and support the writers and the actors. And I just want to continue to get better, right? We're all an instrument. And the more I work with my instrument, the more I prepare. I've been a star for a long time. And now I'm looking for superstardom. And that's when you start doing something different and you just really work and create your brand of humor. And I'm on this journey, and God blessed me to do something I really love. And I need stand-up because I've been through so much like darkness that I got to talk about it. And that's what's great about my show right now. I'm not talking about politics. I'm not talking about hot button topics. I'm not talking about race. I talk about me.
Yeah.
This is therapy, and it's great because you get to laugh at my expense.
Nice. And I was actually looking at your tour schedule. You're up in New York right now, and you're at the Stress Factory in Connecticut. I didn't know Vinnie Brand had a club in Connecticut. I knew he had one in New Brunswick. So
we got a club in Connecticut. One of y'all do a really good Vinnie Brand.
He's got who are you wearing pink for?
Remember, he tried to make fun of me for wearing a pink shirt. I'm like, what is your problem?
He's great. He's great.
That's so random, but it's such a good impression. Because nobody knows who Vinny is, but if you met him, you're like, that's spot on.
Yeah, he's a character. You're talking about your comedy.
I'm doing that, and then I'm also doing the Parks Casino in Philly, and then I'm also doing next weekend. I do 2 shows at New Jersey Pack in Newark, and then I go do the show in Parks Casino, and then I come back to Newark to do another show at New Jersey Pack.
That's great. That's awesome. I was watching, there was an exchange, I think it was on Twitter. You were answering as an up-and-coming comedian talking about making this a personal show. And he was saying, he was dealing with depression, and you were very candid and said that's something you deal with all the time, and that's part of the process of being a comedian. A comedian is worth their salt if they can counter that on stage and make it something approachable, funny, and that people can connect to.
Right, because people, we all look at ourselves as victims in this journey, and when you're a comedian, you really look at yourself as a hero in the journey. God. Sometimes, life gives you pain. Comedians, when life gives you pain, it actually gives you a new set. I am grateful for pain. And when my kids do dumb stuff, I'm like, man, thank you for that. Yep. I needed that new hour. When I date a crazy woman, I'm like, oh, man, I hate you and love you at the same time. Thank you for that. I'm gonna make these people laugh with this experience.
Yeah.
Ooh, you lit my house on fire. I can't wait to talk about this on stage.
But work for a comedian like that is constantly going on. It's you're taking input in all day long and filtering it through and finding ways to create that or maybe have that be a part of your set. It's all day long, I would imagine.
It's everywhere all the time. I can't watch movies no more. Because I came from parody. Every movie I watch, I go, oh, what's funny about this? Every movie, I'm like, I can't cry in movies. I'm like, man, what's funny about this horror movie? I'm a crazy man. Like, me and my brothers, we're at funerals, and people think we're crying and we're laughing. We're like, do you see what shoes they put on our father? That is hilarious.
I get that completely. What
he's not gonna get. He's not getting in heaven with those shoes.
What do you do for Zen? What do you do to decompress? Because I know you enjoy barbecuing. What's that?
Comedy.
Just besides that's your job though too. What do you?
No, barbecuing is work. You gotta, people like all kind of seasonings and Larry's. It's too much work. It's a competition. You know, man, my fire was 10 times hotter than yours. I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather go on the stage and make people laugh. Every time I feel or hear laughter, it's the greatest high. It's the greatest feeling. It's the best dopamine. It's the best drug ever. Stand-up comedy in front of that audience, making them feel great, knowing that you're delivering smiles at a time when the world needs it. You know, I'm blessed, man. One day when I'm not here any longer, every time people laugh about movies, I'm gonna feel it in hell. I'm gonna feel it. I'm like,
In hell.
I did a good job. Devil hit guy, ask him, can I get in now? Tell him watch White Chicks. Tell them what I went through and see if I could get in.
Hey, I wanted to ask you something, Marlon. It was actually about Damon. I was watching I think it was a documentary about comedians. I forgot who said this, told the story about him, but said that when, if you would be bombing, if Damon was in the audience watching, because other comedians watching other comedians, that he would laugh out loud like this. Like this, like obnoxious, over the top. You know, I know that joke sucked.
No. It wasn't that he was laughing. Damon is sadistic now. He would be like, "Oh, that's funny. He's doing terrible." He's mean like that. But I don't think he's cruel like that. Like,
okay.
Damon would never laugh at somebody bombing.
Well, I think it was his buddies
Damon
maybe.
No. It was Damon.
All right.
But Damon wasn't laughing that they were bombing. Damon was laughing at the idea of the joke.
Okay.
And going, that's funny. Stay in there. They don't get it. It's actually encouragement. He's not laughing at the comedian. He's laughing at the joke. But the audience don't get it.
Okay.
Damon has a dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
So the comic is probably talking about something painful, like, you know, like molestation or childhood trauma.
Right.
And it's dark and the audience feels uncomfortable. And that's where Damon laughs. And Damon's encouraging you to keep going and keep digging because that silence is going to lead to your best joke. I want you to know, as the older comedian in the back of the room, that, man, that is funny.
All right.
Keep going.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. He's approving the concept and saying you need to work it more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If that's the case, he came to watch me a few times and I heard that little sick laugh. And I was bombing, but I wasn't. I was actually digging into what a real comedian does, which is sometimes you make things uncomfortable because you got to dig through a lot of dark to find that little light called the laugh.
Yeah.
So you got to keep digging. And everybody's so sensitive nowadays that you have to desensitize the audience by going dark. People need that. We forgot how to laugh. Social media has told us everything has to be right. There is no shaming. There is no this. There is no that. There is no genders. And this is like, no, we got to talk about find the funny. And if you look at movies before the strike, they're not doing or developing comedies. Look at our world. It's so depressive. There's so many people committing suicide. Laughter is needed. And that's why I do comedy.
All right. And you can go get some Comedy Gang because Marlon's going to be playing Saturday, August 12th at the Excite Center. And get those tickets at parkscasino.com. Man, it is great to talk to you. We appreciate you
y'all
checking
too, man.
Getting up early, man.
Y'all my favorite people, man.
We appreciate that,
I really
Marlon.
do. I love sitting in that room. Y'all got rid of the girl. What happened?
No, she's right
here. Hi.
She's just being quiet.
There she goes. There it is. I was like, this is uncomfortable. Y'all three ugly men. Put that pretty face. I look forward to coming in there and getting them all the time.
All right, Marlon, take care, man. Thanks for everything. Marlon Wayans, everybody. We'll see you soon, man. I love it. I love it.
You know what's funny? I hung out with him one time in L.A. It was like the only time I was in Los Angeles, and my friend took me to a club, and he was like the first guy we ran into. He was there with like a bunch of girls, but he invited us over to like hang out with him. We were kind of, not really one-on-one, but like in this little group.
Collective,
and, yeah, he was like really cool. Yeah.
That is cool, man. I mean, the families are, when we had Keenan by, and it was just it's the greatest.
Hang on. He's listening and wants to come back on. Go ahead.
I think we just lost him.
Oh, we just lost him. All right. Marissa was saying he was back on, but
Man, black guys love you, guys.
Yes, that's
Well,
yep.
You know what, Nick? Some fellow coworkers love you.
Aw.
Because Tina Costello stopped off at Wawa and picked you up a pretzel and some apple
So
slices.
is that admission?
No, Tina,
I don't think so.
Tina's writing
I
her
think she
wrong.
just heard
Yeah, she wouldn't
and
do that.
wanted to make him feel better.
Well, thank you,
So-
Tina. That's super sweet.
That's from earlier this morning. Somebody stole Nick's pretzels and apple slices, and his juice box and Go-Gurt was okay.
Yeah.
But so it was in the fridge and got lifted or tossed out. We don't know. So you ready?
Yeah.
Coming over. There you go, brother.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Nice.
Courtesy
Thank you,
of
Tina.
Tina. All right. Well, listen. We do need to take a break. I thought there was something else I was going to bring up. No, we'll take a break because our buddy Tom Papa is going to be joining us when we return. So hang out. We won't be gone long, and we'll get him on next. So stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
What's going on? But anyhow, you should have seen me. I was crouched down.
Oh, that's great.
I was crouched down like this. I was in the mode, and it was very surreal. But
That's amazing.
that was a bit of an adventure yesterday.
So that would have been great if they walked in.
Oh
you
my
come
God.
back. You've
What
got
was I gonna
nitrous
do,
tank.
man?
You've got the nitrous tank of your arm.
Yeah.
You've got some of the tranquilizers and
And you and the Russian lady are.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah. I didn't know how I was going to explain it
Oh,
if
man,
they
that's
came
funny.
walking in. But I had the best of
Listen,
intentions.
the place was empty. I'm gonna save them.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyhow, it was a great day. Bella Hadid is getting real about her mental health. The 25-year-old model shared a raw post Tuesday saying that her life isn't as picture perfect as it may seem.
Who's this again, Preston? I'm sorry.
This is Bella Hadid.
Bella Hadid.
Is that your favorite Hadid?
I vastly
Oh, come
last
on.
week was a Gigi week.
No way.
I have to admit it.
It's got to be.
I know Yolanda.
Yolanda Hadid.
No,
Well, that's the mom, right?
No.
No?
Now you're making fun of this legitimate thing here.
Which one lives?
Where do you stand?
One lives in the area, right? Is it-
Gigi's
I
are
think two of
local,
them. I
right?
think the mom and the daughter live here.
Well,
Which
I have
daughter?
nothing against Yolanda.
Which daughter, Kat?
Who's
Bella
the-
or
It's Gigi.
Bella or Gigi?
Who just had the baby?
Gigi.
Gigi.
So
I'm
she
gonna say
shared,
it one more time. Gigi.
she shared a video of Willow Smith that resonated with her. In it, Smith talked about her insecurities and not feeling good enough. Hadid had also included a gallery of selfies of herself crying and a candid caption about her mental health.
I'm so tired of on on TikTok and Instagram videos of people filming themselves crying.
Oh, that's not the first thing you think to do when you're
the crying reaction. Yeah, no, I don't do that.
Yeah, I'd like to keep that kind of person.
Yeah, and remember the mom who was busted
Oh,
with the
man.
kid in the front seat?
Trying to make her kid
Trying to make
cry.
the kid cry?
Yep.
There was I just watched one of somebody crying. And I was like, oh God, here we go.
Knock it off.
Another one. But wait, she was opening her own boutique. And that's why she was crying.
She
She
was
was like,
happy?
this has been a long road and it's finally here. And I'm so happy to bring this to you guys because now you can shop all of my clothes in person.
Let's check in a year when she's crying when it
My
fails.
clothes. I was like, what is this?
Hey, a lot of small businesses.
I know.
Statistically. All right, well, anyway.
Not mine. My boutique is going great guns.
Hadid wrote, I love you and your words. It made me feel a little less alone, and that's why I'd like to post this. So she was commenting on a video of Willow Smith. Hadid reminded followers that they are not alone and there is always light at the end of the tunnel. She said, this is pretty much my everyday, every night for a few years now. Social media is not real.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, for anyone struggling, please remember that. Sometimes all you've got to hear is that you're not alone. So from me to you, you're not alone. I love you. I see you and I hear you.
No, it's just like the Na'vi in Avatar.
I see you.
Yeah.
Self-help and mental illness chemical imbalance is not linear, and it's almost like flowing roller coaster of obstacles.
Okay, now she's losing me.
Ups and downs and size to size. Listen, people obviously, struggling with
Depression.
Depression is a real thing. It's terrible. But you've got conflicting things here. Social media is not real, she writes. Anyone struggling? Listen, you can find support on social media, but you can also find exactly what is pushing you down.
And
You know
pushing
what I
your
mean?
buttons. It is a construct. And we've said before, initially, when it had a much more benevolent, at least to me, it felt that way in the early, hey, you're on this too, hey.
Yeah.
And there is a very, very destructive part of social media now. If you're going to be on it, know the difference and don't let the heavy stuff bring you down, man.
She wrote,
Right,
anyways,
Yolanda.
not sure why, but it feels harder and harder to share my truth on here. Thank you for seeing me, and thank you for listening. I see you. I love you.
So look at this picture here on Instagram. You had to, hold the camera.
All right, what we're looking at is a picture of her crying. It's a close-up of her tears. She's looking away, and I mean, that looks like a posed photograph.
Yeah, it does.
You know,
I have
so-
never cried and been like, hold on, let me get my phone.
I got an update to the new OS. 1 second here. Wait a second. Why is this thing going through?
Wait, where's the flashes on?
How do you flip the camera? I can't flip the camera.
You have to angle it just right.
I mean, this is ridiculous. This is.
The light isn't right. Wait 1 second.
I need another one. Hold on.
Can you come take this for me, please?
Yeah, that's not what I'm thinking about when I'm crying.
Yeah.
Seriously.
She keeps opening the wrong app that looks like the app for the
No,
phone.
that's not the Instagram. No, that's
If you thought that Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga looked like a couple in love at the 2019 Oscars, it's because they planned it that way. I know that she has already said that, but he is finally saying something. He was talking to the Hollywood Reporter on Wednesday, and he had said that he wanted the performance to mimic the scene in the movie in order to help him manage his own fears about singing live. So I get it. Yeah,
absolutely.
He's playing a role.
And by
Here
the way,
he is in front of a bunch of musicians. Because it was, I'm sorry, it was at the Oscars.
At the Oscars, it's in front of the world, basically.
Yeah,
he's singing this song. They obviously have a very strong friendship.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. So it's friends, lovingly.
And they're performers.
Yes, they're liars.
They know they're playing a role. They're having fun with it.
They're paid liars.
So Cooper added, he said he shared, just from a personal standpoint, it reduces the anxiety level.
Well, listen, we're very good friends with Bradley Cooper.
We are.
And we know the way he is.
Incredibly
And we
close.
know how nervous he gets in situations like this. So if you knew him the way we knew him.
Steve, I sometimes will just place my hand on his knee.
Yeah.
And just a little touch. Yeah. A little human touch.
Makes a difference.
Calms him down a bit.
Yeah. I can't believe you guys haven't brought up the fact that, like, Steve and I look at each other like that when we sing the Safe Light song.
Absolutely.
We totally get
That's
that.
so beautiful.
That's
right?
true.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I just thought I'd let you guys have that. I didn't want to bring it out into the open.
I always say, find someone in your life who looks at me the way Casey looks at me during the Safe Light song.
Yeah.
Can we get that right now? Can you guys do that?
I just love him so much.
Let's do it. We can do it. Ready?
You're at the microphone for a
All right, turn away and then turn and look at each other. All right. Just give us a countdown.
I got to get in the character.
All right, hold it.
Okay.
Everybody. 3, 2, 1.
Safe Light Repair. Safe Light Replace.
Oh my God.
Wow.
The lovely kiss was
That
blown.
was-
If we could get it, I don't know if it's possible to get a split screen on that or not.
And see, there's no
play that
real love there. That's all
Right.
they
No.
lie.
Well, you know what? You can't sing those words without being moved.
Mm-hmm.
They're not only repaired, but replaced.
Yes. As if the repair wasn't enough.
You fixed me,
Yeah.
and then you made me all new again.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And they'll
I'll
come-
repair
they'll-
you. I will
I
never
will come
replace
to where
you.
you are
Yeah.
if you're at your daughter's dance recital.
That's right.
Bradley Cooper added that they kind of fall in love in that scene in the film. It's that explosive moment that happens to them on a stage in front of thousands of people.
Yeah.
And it would have been so weird if we were both on stools facing the audience. So that's why they did it that way.
This is actually the first time that they rehearsed. They sang the Chicken Pot Pie song, Preston.
Wait, do you want to do Safe Light Repair like that now? We're looking at a video where they're kind of heads leaning against each other. Oh, no. Oh, yes, we're going to get this now.
Go on.
Hold on.
Will
You got to come behind because you got to come behind me because you're taller.
Like this?
Yeah.
We are getting this on camera, right?
Yeah. Well, where's the camera at?
Right
here?
Yeah. Can you count us off, Preston?
3, 2, 1.
Safe light repair, safe light replace.
Dear God in heaven.
Wow.
How was that? Was that good? Thank you.
I was convinced.
Bravo!
Thank you. Can I just? We are involved with other people.
Yes.
I have the deepest respect for Diane, and I know Casey.
And I,
loves
Claire.
her, yeah.
And your cats.
And my cat.
More on the creepy side for me.
You don't know what that song means to us.
I know, I guess.
Sounds a little jealous, does she not?
I'm getting that. We have
I think
to look.
you guys. I don't think you were harmonizing though. I think you were in unison on that.
Our hearts were harmonized.
Hearts were
So the monetary donations for Camp Out for Hunger continued until the day before Thanksgiving, and the final tally of money that you donated at Acme Markets is $1,454,710.
Just amazing.
And that added to our final monetary donation, with everything added in, for Camp Out for Hunger this year was $1,802,000 to help feed people in this area.
Oh, my God, another banner year.
$1.8 million, and you put that on over 2.3 million pounds of food.
I mean, again, another situation where you figured, how are they, how are we going to get to that point? How are we going to top the miracle that was last year? And look what, people just step up. They're amazing.
Yep, it's pretty incredible. So thank you. Before we get into our concert announcement and music news, Nick, what were you laughing so hard at right before that started? Or do we even want to know?
You want to know.
Okay.
I would just want to take a seat, Preston.
WMMR.
Thank you so much, Kath. All right, our next guest is going to be performing at the Freeman Arts Pavilion. It's in Selbyville, Delaware, not Shelbyville.
We had to go with Shelbyville just to use that drop.
The foil of Springfield.
Yeah, the people of Shelbyville look down on the people of Springfield, and they say that the people of Springfield make that noise.
That's how they mock them.
Right.
Yeah. But no, it's in Selbyville, Delaware. And it's going to be Sunday, 7 p.m. And you can get tickets at freemanarts.org. And we have some music to bring you on.
Yeah.
Here we go. Of course. Please welcome our very good friend, Mr. Tom Papa, to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Wonderful. We're excited you're going to be in our area once again, man. Everybody loves you around here.
Yeah, it's a treat. This is my return. I tried to do this gig like a month ago, and it got rained out because of thunderstorms and all this. I was sitting in Ocean City, Maryland, crab Old Bay on my fingers, ready to do the show. And it got rained out, so I left, and then and now I'm returning on Sunday.
Speaking of crabs, I read your book. We're all in this together, so make some room. And it was very timely. I was listening to the audio version. You did a great narration, by the way. And while I was in the section that you were talking about going crabbing, which was a years-long event for your family, you guys did it for a long time. I was driving from the Jersey Shore. I was about at Ocean City, New Jersey, and you started talking about the greenheads, which we were having an issue with that particular weekend. So it was very timely.
Oh, then there's nothing worse. Nothing ruins the summer like the dreaded green-headed horsefly.
Yeah. They're horrific.
Yeah.
Oh, man, if we go to Long Beach Island, and if you see that the wind is coming from the bay, if you look at the flags when you wake up in the morning and the wind is coming from the bay, you know you're about to be devoured.
Yep.
Listen, you know that everything, you talk about unattractive animals or insects, or, jellyfish or whatever. You wonder, how do they fit in the plan? There's no case that can be made to justify the greenheads. In the whole plan of the universe, whatever entity knows how everything's supposed to lay out, they're just horrific.
Yeah, you're right. Even like the mosquito, as much as that's a pain in the ass, if you look at it, it's pretty elegant. It's got these long, sexy legs. It's got these beautiful wings. The horsefly is like mixing a hyena with a load of garbage.
And that's complimentary.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
you're right.
brutal.
You're right. I wanted to mention, Tom, I pointed this out to Preston. You posted on your Instagram page after the death, obviously, of Pee Wee Herman. You posted a picture of you, younger you, dressed as Pee Wee Herman. Obviously, it appears you were a big fan. But I had to point out to Preston. I said, "Look at Tom Papa looking,
dapper.
Yeah, movie idol-ish. Well, obviously, sans the Pee Wee clothes." So, 2 questions: when was that picture taken exactly? And 2, how big a Pee Wee Herman fan were you?
I was a huge Pee Wee Herman fan. I was 17 years old when I took that picture.
Wow.
Pee Wee was a huge influence. He was so funny. And I just loved that it was this children's show, but at the same time was this adult demented show. And he was just so smart with Phil Hartman and Lawrence Fishburne on the Playhouse. And he was just so great. And so then I was an athlete my whole life, but I always wanted to be a comedian since I was a little kid. And then football season was over and we had this talent show in high school. And I was so in love with Pee Wee that I dressed up like Pee Wee and I hosted the talent show. And that literally was the first time I even stood at a mic and did stand up.
Wow.
I was Pee Wee the whole night. And then I broke into my own thing. And it was terrible, but it was really the first time I stood at a microphone and thought, okay, the sports part is over. And now let's head towards comedy. The bad part about that post, though, on Instagram, was I posted myself as a 17-year-old Pee Wee, young and in shape and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of comments that were like, "Wow, you used to be handsome." One guy said, "Wow, man, time is a bitch."
Oh no!
It's just what you want to hear.
No. Oh my God. I'm like, am I that different?
Social media is so fun.
Yeah, so supportive. I love that that was a pivotal thing. And what I think sort of gets lost in the sauce with Pee Wee Herman and that group, Phil Hartman, and you were mentioning some names. There was an edge to what they were doing that really had not been the norm. I mean, you talk about people who really kind of went on the edge, like you go back to Ernie Kovacs and people who were really kind of doing stuff that was like one tick off that was sort of looked like something you're familiar with, but there was a spin on it. And so while it was this very cool sort of kid show and up with kids and so on and so forth, the angle was, decidedly darker in a certain way, which made it so hilarious.
Yeah, well, he was just super creative, and it didn't start off for children. He did that off Broadway in New York, and in a loft space.
Right.
And it was just a creative, comedic kind of thing, and then it became palatable for kids. And here's a little fun note. My good friend Rob Zombie, the rock star and director of a couple of my specials, his first job in New York was working as a PA on Pee Wee's Playhouse.
That's right. I remember reading that somewhere. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a long time, but sure, I've lost some hair, but I'm still handsome.
Yeah, you are.
You are a gorgeous man.
Yes, you are.
I feel like I'm coming into my prime. I mean,
you are.
My kids are both going away to college this in a couple weeks. I'll be an empty nester.
Wow.
And I am so excited. I'm starting to microdose mushrooms.
All right.
I'm gonna get really heavy into day drinking.
That sounds great. You know what
I can drink at 2 in the afternoon and know that I'm not going to get a call to pick someone up from karate.
Yes. I love that you have a plan.
That's it. And the great thing is that you're doing the antithesis of what most people plan on doing. You're doing what people actually end up doing, but say they're going to do other things.
Yeah, my wife was like, "Oh my God, we're going to cry," and I'm like, "I'm going to be so drunk." What do you mean? We're going to watch porn in the afternoon. What do you mean? My daughter said, I said to my daughter, "Wait a minute, I didn't want any of this. I didn't want this house. I didn't want this this. I don't want to live in this town. I didn't want these animals. I mean, I did all of this for you, and now you're going to go?
Yeah.
I was like, I should go.
You're like Jimmy Stewart in It's a Wonderful Life when he freaks out and I never want to have kids. Are you kicking over the furniture?
I'm like, look, I love you to death, but I mean, you could have all of this. You just give me a backpack with some weed and a Van Halen CD.
There you go.
I'll go back to living the life I was living before I met you.
Right. That's yeah. Well, listen, yeah. I think what you should do, honestly, is combine all that and get one of these shows that pops up on the Travel Channel with the paranormal investigators. That they work as rotor guys during the day, but they do paranormal investigations at night. You have, and we said many times before, there's a case to be made that you have a poltergeist at your home.
Mm-hmm. That's at his office.
We have a ghost in our house
it's
for
out.
sure. We've talked about it. I've got photographic proof, and I hear them walk around once in a while. Things go missing in my room. I really believe when the kids leave for college, I'm going to legit be hanging out with that ghost.
Microdosing. Yeah.
Yeah. Me and the ghost are going to be microdosing mushrooms and just eating buffalo wings on a Tuesday at 4:00.
Yeah. And they'll have their own room. So
yeah, exactly, man. That I'm envious of you. That's the life. Wow. Hanging out with your ghost.
I know I'm supposed to. It's hard because I've got to pretend that I'm not excited about this. Like when you're with these other parents and they're all like crying and they're like, "Oh my God, it went so fast." I'm like, "So fast? I have no hair left." They came so close to killing me.
Yeah, Tom.
This is a victory. I feel like at the last second, I can't. Like in the fourth quarter, you think I'm wiped out, and I'm still standing. This is a victory.
Tom, when you were presenting your case, so you can be like, Kevin Costner in the JFK movie, and your magical bullet is you present the picture of you at 17 and what the family, the toll it took on you, and that'll be your evidence.
Yeah, exactly. Look at who I was. I was still there's no worries. I had so much more money. I was 17 and I had more money than I have now because you stole it. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Savor every second of it. Dude, scandals and all that stuff. Whatever you can do, you're free of the familial obligations now. You can go absolutely ape-ass.
I know. And my friend gave me these pills so you could microdose mushrooms, which is supposed to be therapeutic, and it gives you this little trace of psilocybin with some other like lion's mane and lavender and frog warts, and it's all mixed together. And I have to say, I took it. I didn't feel anything. You've got to take like 5 before you even get a buzz.
Wow. Okay.
It's kind of weird because we've had the conversation, with the gummies and stuff like that, and the potency level of it. That people who years ago indulged, in just smoking pot, they think they can jump right into this stuff. And we actually have a friend who actually had to be taken out of a wedding on like a gurney because
he ate a gummy.
He had a gummy, and it just crippled him. So be careful.
I love that. If I'm going to be definitely in that state the minute we come back from dropping her off at school.
Tom, I wanted to ask you: have you?
I'm going to sign I'm going to have my wife sign a contract that as paranoid and freaked out as I am, whatever I say, don't get me the gurney. Ride it out.
Well, speaking of mushrooms, have you watched and/or read How to Change Your Mind, which is on Netflix? The Michael Pollan book.
Yeah. I didn't read the book. I saw him on. Was it Netflix?
Yeah, it's a 4 or 5 part miniseries, and they go into a lot of what they can do to you, the good and the bad, and it just at the very least, it's an interesting perspective into the history behind it and why people sometimes it's effective, sometimes it can make you go a little wonky. So I just found it fascinating.
Yeah, and I used to eat mushrooms in college and stuff, and you really get high, and everyone's in LA, at least everyone's into this microdosing. You take this trace and you don't really feel it, and I gotta say, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, right. I was curious too.
Hey, you have absolutely none of the benefits.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to see some stuff. I want my dog to be talking to me. I want to have some fun here. My kids are leaving. I need to macro dose.
Macro. Listen, you've got a ghost you've got to get to know better. You can't facilitate that on microdosing.
Yeah, my ghost is looking at me like, dude, you got to up the dosage. It's ridiculous.
We got a party. That's awesome. Yeah,
man.
I'm very excited, and I'm like last night or the other night I went to the Dodger game, and I got like a little glimpse of like what my future's going to be. I'm so filled with hot dogs right now. I don't know what's happened this summer. I'm treating hot dogs like they're a superfood. I can't.
Well, they are. They are. It was National Chili Dog Day last week. I hope you celebrated properly.
That's true. Yeah.
Something happens. I get to the ball game and I just lose my marbles.
Oh yeah.
There's they shut down all of the food and the alcohol in the seventh inning, and it's like that's the only thing stopping me.
Yeah. Hey, I want to ask because I hear about the legendary Dodger dogs. Are they better than your average dog?
No, they're not.
Okay.
Like most things in LA, they're full of it. It's a pretty mediocre, boiled, skinny, lame dog. But you eat them because you're at the ballpark. It could be like a packing peanut, and I'd be putting mustard on it. If you told me it was the hot dog at the ball game.
One of the most popular promotions here at Phillies games is Dollar Dog Night. And when they have that, although
it's gotten a little nutty,
somebody ruined it the last two times and started throwing the hot dogs
onto the field.
And I mean, like a big food fight type thing.
Yeah.
So we can't have nice things, and they're going to take it away from us probably.
Oh man, you gotta love Philly.
Right.
They're always coming up with a creative way to ruin a good time.
It's true.
It's what we do. You raise a good point though about when you go to a stadium, when you go to any event, any sporting event. When we go to whether it's the we were at the soccer game here recently. Rob McElhenney's team Wrexham was here, and we were there. And I don't know what it is, but every time I get into that situation. Chicken fingers. That's what I have to have.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I never eat chicken fingers in my normal civilian life. But suddenly, when I'm a sports spectator, I've got to have them.
No, you lose your marbles. Like the nachos I had at the Dodger game, any ballpark nachos, if you were to take those nachos and put them on a plate and serve them to you in a restaurant, you'd be like, what happened? Why did you go to the dumpster and pull out with this disgusting cheese-like sauce and these hard cardboard chips and this jalapeno that looks like it came out of a whale's bunghole? Why are you giving me this? But when you put them in a helmet,
yes,
in a ballpark, you're like, this is the greatest thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Yeah, something when you walk into that stadium just transforms you. That's all there is.
Yeah, because you get that collectible helmet. It's like, now it's worth something.
Now that social media has spoken, and I am apparently not as handsome as I used to be, or as handsome as I think I am, maybe I go full into Danny DeVito mode and just be like, all right, I'm just going to get a little fatter, stop cutting my hair, wear my glasses, and just become like a character.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not, you know what I mean? Like if I'm not a handsome, maybe I just clown it up and just let everything go.
Tom, wouldn't it be great if every picture that's taken of you after that, people just naturally assume you're on set somewhere because there's no way he looks like that in real life.
Right, exactly.
Oh, he must be on set.
I know, like I'm walking around like, oh, I can't eat that because I'm going to gain a little weight, or oh, I got to get a haircut because I want to look good. If none of this is working, what am I doing?
Yeah,
it's time to really. I'm going to get like my own nachos and have them like a little nacho bar in my kitchen at home.
I love that. I mean, isn't honestly as you cross that milestone of being an empty nester and as you grow older, these are the things you're told that you're supposed to get. You're supposed to have this sort of reckless abandon and not care about your appearance and be able to blurt out things, and people just go, well, he's up there now. So all of those, right?
Yeah, it's go time. I mean, whenever I see these people that are like, they plan on traveling when they retire, and they're 80 years old, and their knees are shot, they can't see. It's like, this isn't the time to backpack through Europe.
Right.
Like your ankles are made of popsicle sticks. This is, with my kids gone, it's go time. I think I'm going to be like John Belushi in his heyday in the next 5 years.
Absolutely. I love it. That's a plan.
If you're just tuning in, it's Tom Papa who's going to be playing the Freeman Arts Pavilion in Selbyville, Delaware on Sunday. Since we're doing all this food chat, I wanted to get your take on this, Tom. We were discussing this earlier this morning. Nick had put some soft pretzels and he had some food in a bag that he put in our station refrigerator. And yesterday, he put it in there. Today, it's gone. We haven't figured out who did it. And I was wondering if there's a comedy club equivalent of that, of the work refrigerator or the catering, where have people been known to bandit those type of things, or does that happen in that world?
Yeah, not really. I mean, in the comedy clubs, the comedians are treated like second-class citizens.
Okay.
Like there's no place for you to bring your own food. And for years, they tell you can only order like these 2 items off of the menu, and you still have to pay half price. Like it is not glamorous at all. We're kind of abused, and there's none of that. But comedians, they live with each other for a long time because they're poor for a long time. So in the apartments with your roommates, that happens all the time. And then who did it. It's
right.
Like, I had a soft pretzel. I put it in the refrigerator. It's gone. Why did you eat my pretzel?
Right.
One other comedian roommate. Right. And they'll look you right in the eye and say, I have no idea what you're talking about.
There was, you actually bring up a memory, Tom. Years ago when I was doing stand-up, for my little run in it, there was a club in Connecticut that was legendary because they had 3 sandwiches that they would pre-make, and whoever got to the club first got the best sandwich. I think the best sandwich was the chicken sandwich, and literally, everyone would book as quickly as they could to get that superior sandwich of the 3. But it was. Do you remember this legend at all? Because it was a fairly prominent club in Connecticut.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that, but it sounds exactly what would happen. They were so abusive, and like the headliner was like, "Wow, I can't wait to be a headliner," because they actually gave him French fries with his sandwich.
That's what you're in it for.
I have to stand outside by the dumpster.
You get a side.
That's what you're in it for. Yeah. I'm completing my menu.
Wow.
Yeah, you're abused for so long, and it's like you really knew you made it when you were able to eat anything off the menu. You're like, wow. Now I'm like Eddie Murphy.
Well, yeah, Tom. Now it's gummies, it's nachos, and hanging with your ghost.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, seriously, this is gonna be a party.
Yeah.
All I have to do is, I act once in a while.
Yeah.
And my big performance is going to be when I drop them off at school and bring all the stuff into their room. I've got to kind of get some tears going and act like I'm sad. You know what I mean? Because I can't be like high-fiving my wife. Like, she's not going to be into it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, times went so fast. I can't believe it. And little does she know that I'm already chewing on gummy.
How far away are they going?
East Coast.
All right.
okay.
All right. So all the way. Yeah, that's the big move.
Man.
Do you want us to keep our eyes on them? Or
We'll keep our eyes on him if you want.
Yeah, like she's going to be going into college, and I'm going to be the one buying a bong.
Wow. Well, I could clearly see that this material is going to lead to another book eventually, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's either going to lead to a book or rehab.
Or rehab. Oh,
Tom Papa rehab facility.
By the way, Tom, when I read your book, I did text you because there's a great line that you use, and the line is, it's a toast being made, and here's to who we are and what will become or what will be. And I had texted you because it was eerily similar to a line in the movie Fandango, and I had said, if this is from Fandango, it's a great nod. If not, you need to see the movie. And you got back to me and said, well, I need to see the movie Fandango. I'm guessing you haven't seen that yet, probably.
No, I haven't.
It's highly recommend.
Yeah, you wrote a really nice note, and you're like, apparently you've seen Fandango or something. I was like, no, I have no idea what you're talking
No idea what you're talking about. You definitely want to see that.
I'm pricing bongs online.
Right.
okay. Do they explain how I can microdose?
Well, the book is great, and you should get it. It's a nice, entertaining read, and it's called We're All in This Together, so make some room. And then, of course, Tom's going to be, like we said, at the Freeman Arts Pavilion in Selbyville. That's this Sunday.
This Sunday.
At 7 o'clock, and it's a make good, and Tom always makes good, and you can go to freemanarts.org to grab your tickets. So, cool. Listen, man, good luck with everything, especially with the, your upcoming party lifestyle.
Yeah, I really think I should check back in with you all like mid to late September, and I'll give you a report on how it's going, and then you can figure out how you can get rid of your families too.
All right, too.
I will tell you this. We will be very disappointed if we don't hear soon that Tommy Lee has staged an intervention for you. We're going to want to know you just took it all away.
Enjoy the rest of your summer. Go get some ballpark nachos, get some gummies, and enjoy your life.
All right, Tom Papa, thank you very much, man. Have a great show. Love it. I have not thought about it in that in those terms with being an empty nester. Oh my God, that's
I'd never heard of Fandango either, and I had to look it up on IMDb. That looks like a fun movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner when he was a young man, and it's
a coming of age sort of film, and it's one of those iconic films.
Yeah, Judd Nelson's in it, and a bunch of other people that you might or might not recognize. But Casey, it's a real quirky, cool, interesting movie. I love, and apparently I was talking to our buddy Brian Miller. There's like a convention coming up for an anniversary of it.
For Fandango?
Yeah, for Fandango.
Oh, really?
I'm like, that has a big, like Big Lebowski type following.
There's a Fandango cult, and there has been for a while.
I did not know that.
Yes, absolutely.
It
is very much revered. Yeah.
I definitely want to check that out. All right. Well, listen, before we do take a break, I wanted to mention something today because, listen, there's a national day for everything.
Yes.
Casey just mentioned National Chili Dog Day the other day.
Is it National Day?
It's not National Day. God. But it is, and I kid you not,
all right,
National Big Forehead Day.
Kathy.
You a-hole. What does that mean?
No, I just thought maybe you would want to know about it.
August 3rd is National Big Forehead Day.
That's why you were keeping it a secret, you little jerk.
Yeah, it's why you wouldn't tell us. Technically, don't I have the biggest forehead in the room?
No, shut up.
Well, listen,
yours is
because
fine.
I think
it's
it will
normal
be
like everyone else in this room.
I think it will be delighted to hear some of the facts that I have about large foreheads.
About giant foreheads.
Right, yeah. You can write them across her forehead.
The holiday aims.
Why don't you do a PowerPoint on Kathy's forehead?
Point 72.
The holiday aims to reclaim the marvelous, big, bold, and beautiful forehead and help people to begin to love what they have.
You got to know. You admit you laughed the first time you heard someone say someone had a 5 head.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which is, again, like, why would they not either do this on the 4th or the 5th of the month?
They've only got one more day.
Yeah.
It could be tomorrow. All right, so a large forehead.
Well, it gives you time to get gifts.
A large forehead is considered a sign of intelligence and beauty in some cultures.
There you go.
This culture right here.
But downright unsightly in others.
Shoot.
Okay.
What?
Let me ask, would you prefer somebody with a giant forehead or somebody like Teresa Giudice who's got a tiny forehead?
Yeah, she's got no forehead.
Yeah.
I go big
You got
forehead
three head.
over tiny.
You would end up. I think there's a look that they like the Todd Browning film Freaks. There's a guy who's got like no forehead. I think that looks. I prefer a bigger forehead.
Bigger forehead.
You guys.
Even though
you say the sweetest things about my deformity.
Ideas of aesthetics may vary from country to country. One thing is sure, fashion police are abound in every era. So take, for instance, the women of the Renaissance. A prominent forehead was one of the most notable beauty trends of the time.
Now, I do know this. And Preston, we were talking about the Habsburgs, so they had large foreheads, and they also had, because of their massive amounts of inbreeding,
right?
They all had Jay Leno chins.
Oh, really?
Yes, they did.
Portraits of women from this period featured high foreheads, hinting at their beauty. But
If I ever, I don't often take selfies, and I rarely post selfies because I hate them. But if I do, I cut the part of my head off. So
Do you really?
Yeah. Here, look, I'm gonna take one. So
I
that
see
you
your
only
technique.
see-
Yeah.
You see it, Steve?
Yes, I think that's a brilliant move because it doesn't look ridiculous.
Preston, look. So I
Oh
cut
my
the forehead in half.
Yeah, Kathy takes off
that's funny.
about the top 40%.
You do look a lot better in that photo, though.
I had not noticed.
She eliminates the 40% of her forehead.
Kathy, I think they're being so mean to you.
I know,
That's
Casey.
not cool.
Thanks for your support.
Like most
Big giant
trends,
forehead.
the big forehead trend was fascinating and excruciating. It involved women plucking away at their hairline to get a large forehead.
Oh, geez. I would never do that.
Some women plucked not only their hairline, but all traces of their eyebrows, which eventually caused those hairs to never grow back again.
Wow, just to have like a giant forehead. Wow.
Yeah. Similarly, a few centuries later, Queen Elizabeth I became notorious for having a large forehead, which she displayed with an inch of its life. Within an inch of its life. Since she was queen and dictated the fashions of the time, large foreheads became the it thing. Everyone from noble women to maids copied her style. Some even going as far as removing the hair from the hairline permanently.
Think of the paintings you've seen from that period.
Yeah.
That is exactly what you'd see. You'd see pronounced foreheads.
But that is not the only time that large foreheads were popular. Hindus have believed for thousands of years that large foreheads lead to increased success. Large foreheads usually run in the family, like the color of your eyes, a family inheritance, and they're unique to you and your family. Do you have this in the family traits?
Both my parents have giant foreheads, so maybe that's why I got such a big one, because they both do.
They pointed out a couple of people, Rihanna and Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Have large
I need to see
foreheads.
this.
Yeah.
So that's good company to
They're yes, very attractive women.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, Rihanna's got a big forehead. Okay.
Got a 5 head.
Yeah.
And who, Tyra Banks?
Yes.
So it's not just the hairline.
No.
It's the actual
It's the actual forehead.
the acreage that you have.
The real estate.
The real estate.
From the eyebrows to the hairline.
But with that comes the pulsing veins and your ability to move things with your brain.
Right.
You're like Mega Mind.
Make people's heads explode.
And that's what makes I feel like my wrinkles so
Prominent.
yeah, like well, at least for me, because there's so much there. And
Right.
I mean, yes, and that's when I look and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna get Botox. I'm gonna see what it looks like, and then no, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, you hear
It's not-
stories. Neil Patrick Harris is up on the screen here.
Yeah.
He's got a
He does.
big
Got a
forehead.
Big forehead, yeah.
Tom Papa has a big forehead. Well, he's got a bald head. So
Before when he was good looking.
Yeah. Yeah. So the creases in your forehead, Kathy.
Yeah.
I wonder if those were
Technically crevasses.
part of the.
Who do you call it?
There are some people that have them like so prominent, like deep, like crevasses, like and I can't help but and they look like, you know what they look like? They look like a plowed field.
Yeah.
You know, like
And they're
someone
kinda
has gone
cool.
through, like,
Yeah.
Well,
or
that's
raked your
just-
fingers through the sand.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
it's just years of that's where your expression
as
is.
you get older. Yeah.
Like you actually have prominent lines on
Yeah.
your forehead because your expression is always there.
Okay.
She's saying you have a terrible forehead, too.
No. But you actually have a small forehead.
I do.
Yeah.
I have a small head, period.
Yeah, you do.
That's
I have
why
a
you
tiny
said
head.
you can never shave your head.
I have to get like kid size
Really?
baseball caps.
Really?
Yeah. When the adjustable ones,
Yeah.
I have to go over the minimum amount
Yeah.
that it matches up.
You were wearing a hat that actually used to have ice cream in it that you got at the Phillies game.
Yeah, Major League cap.
That's why I was a fan of those the Dairy Queen. Hang on, I'm going to go to Trisha. Hi, Trisha. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's up, Trisha?
I just wanted to tell Kathy I feel her pain. I have a big forehead also, and I do the same thing with my selfies.
Oh, you crop out a part of your head.
I do. And also, growing up, my good friend used to tell me I had a 6 head.
A 6 head?
Yeah.
You poor thing. Well, today is National Big Forehead Day. Did you know that?
I did not until I heard it just a few minutes ago. That's too funny.
Walk proud.
We celebrate you today.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
guys
Thank you, Trisha.
Have a great day.
You too.
Craig Lagon's texted me and said that Sade has an 8 head.
Sade is a very beautiful one.
Absolutely.
See if you can put it's spelled S-A-D-E.
Yeah.
Yes,
with a little
accent.
With a little accent thing. See if you can pull that up, Connor.
Sade.
I hadn't noticed her. Yeah, she does have a
It's
big.
big. It's
Yeah,
not
like George Jefferson.
It's not Kathy Romano big, but it's large.
It's not wrinkled or anything like that. I was thinking about Sade.
Was it Megamind? Was that the
Yeah. Will Ferrell was the voice of Megamind. That's right.
There's a lot here. Angelina Jolie, Wednesday Addams. What's her name?
Oh, you're talking the from the
Selena
movies.
Gomez?
No.
No.
Jenna Ortega?
No, before Christina
Jenna
Ricci.
Ortega.
Yes, Christina Ricci.
Christina Ricci, yes.
What's the Steve? Who's the woman who had the big scar revealed on Melrose Place?
Cross.
Yes,
Marsha Cross.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Marsha
got
Cross.
one.
They're all attractive
Beautiful.
women.
Yeah.
Yes.
Will
You can
Smith.
be beautiful and have a big forehead.
I am.
And humble.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We're looking at a picture of Marsha Cross. Sure, she's got a lot of forehead up there.
I love
And a beautiful woman.
You can't. Every time I see her, I remember that. I love that moment of Beverly Hills. I mean, of Melrose Place when she took that wig off. It was awesome.
Do you think there are people that have forehead fetishes?
Yes, of
There's
course.
a fetish for everything.
Yeah.
I'll bet you there are people that's one of the traits that they look for.
If you can hump it or hump on it, it's going to be a fetish.
I had a list. What time is it? 9:34. Maybe.
Isn't that where giving head comes from?
Oh my God.
Forehead?
I don't know. Anyway.
Well, there's an Instagram account. Forehead fetish lovers.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was reading a list of things that women find attractive in men. Things that you normally wouldn't think of that women find attractive in men. And like there was one that a woman who liked small hands on a guy.
Like doll hands.
Like baby hands.
Yeah.
So
That reminds me of that joke.
what?
In middle school, my girlfriend broke up with me.
She met a guy with bigger fingers.
I like this picture. This is clearly
Kathy,
documented.
that is not real. No. There's a picture of us with the wiggles, and Kathy's head has been altered.
That's cruel. But hilarious.
The Wiggles are coming back to town.
What?
Yeah.
Did they add a wiggle?
And my youngest wants to go see them.
I think there's a new wiggle.
There might be a new
So
wiggle.
what is the status of the? They were just a global phenomenon.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, yeah, it's a whole new set of
Wiggles.
wiggles and different.
Is it another one?
Who keeps doing this?
Do they exist, or are we just doing
Wait,
them on the
Marissa's got
fly?
the.
doctored picture of Kathy.
Do these already exist, or are we doing these?
I dug up a gallery we made in 2014.
For my giant forehead?
About your giant forehead. So it's up on PrestonandSteve.com.
You guys got to go to Preston and Steve.
Steve, you know what she looks like? She looks like RoboCop when they took the mask off of him.
Peter Weller.
Yeah.
Why do we have a giant forehead gallery?
Kathy, who the hell knows what we were doing on, it has a date, January 14th?
Can our
January 14th, my mom's birthday, 2014.
Can our streamers see this? What we're looking at right now?
Yeah, we have it
Okay,
up
good.
there right
All
now.
right, thank you.
Go to the website.
If you go to YouTube, if you go to our website and you go to our live stream, you can see what we're scrolling.
Go to Bromano.
Yeah.
Bromano.
Dude, I love it.
I look like a banker.
Go back to the one where she was doing the interview because that one's. I think
He does look like RoboCop.
He looks like RoboCop with the mask on.
PrestonandSteve.com, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
Are we going to put that up to the front?
Yeah,
front page.
right
Okay.
now.
Oh, that's fantastic! Wow. Okay. Well.
Hey, the Wiggles are coming in September. There are a few of the original Wiggles on here. I see them, at least 2, and then a whole bunch of new ones.
Back to your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you had the bangs,
Yeah.
did you like having the bangs?
Yes, I liked them. Remember,
the
you guys
forehead, yeah.
didn't.
I did.
I didn't hate
Steve,
it.
I mean, what's his name?
I didn't care for
What's the tiny forehead guy's name?
Tiny cranium.
Yeah.
Hey, Pinhead.
Preston didn't like them. That was just a change. Bangs were in at the time when I cut them. But yeah, it was great. It covered my giant forehead.
We're looking at a side-by-side picture.
Dear
Kathy
God, I do not take good pictures.
with her exposed forehead and with her bangs.
You're a good sport, man.
Oh my God. No, you do take good pictures. The one you had for the Sixers as your when you were the in-arena host.
Yeah.
That was like your official picture.
My official
That was a
picture.
great picture of you.
You know what's funny? I just found those. I found a stack of those. The headshot that's on this gallery that's on MMR. I found a stack of those. I had to clear out my office, and I found all these old pictures.
It's wild when so you had band pictures obviously taken. And so like I found this was years ago, old headshots from stand-up comedy and it's like, Jesus.
I shared with you guys the most recent one that I found not that long ago. I have not shared it online or anything like that yet. I should put that out because that one's, I thought it was pretty hot when the picture was being taken.
Yeah.
Oh, my
God almighty.
God, yes.
A lot of mine, I had a mustache.
I remember seeing that one black and white headshot of you with a mustache. It looks very strange.
It looks really strange. I like this look, which I'm gonna when I check out eventually, I'll still have this shaved head, no facial hair.
By the way, speaking of hair, Nick, what happened to your hair earlier today? What was it? What was the moment?
Honestly, it was my day got off to a rough start, mostly because of the pretzel and apple thing. So I just went into the bathroom and took a little sink shower and splashed some water on my face and mopped my hair up a little bit. I felt like I needed a restart.
You did.
Yeah.
It was looking pretty bad.
Yeah, and I mean, I've said this before, but I shower at night, and my hair is relatively short now, so I get bedhead every morning.
Yes, that's one of the liabilities. When you had the Fabio thing going on, it's a little bit longer.
Casey saw me wearing a hat last week or the week before.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't think I've seen you wear a hat in 3 years.
Been a long time.
Yeah.
I get worse bedhead when my hair grows out, actually, when I have the shorter
Well, yeah,
hair.
because when it's longer, it's like floppier. It's more likely to kink up.
Nick's was really long, so it stays weighted down, I guess. So,
Case, you had your head shaved for a little bit. Did you like it?
No.
Oh, really? Okay.
How's it looking now? Take your hat off.
It's fine. It's
growing in.
It's growing in.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I thought
like
it
that
grew in
length.
pretty quick, and now it's like I think I have to cut around the sides and the back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you ever-
Give it a little style.
do you ever get nervous that some of it might not grow back if you do go to that extreme? Okay.
No, because look how great Steve looks. You know.
Well, thank you.
Okay, like you could rock a bald head if you wanted.
No, but I think people would just get used to it after a while.
Right.
You know, I think
Yeah.
at first people are like, "Whoa, that looks weird," and then after a while, it just becomes the norm.
Just remember, if you ever feel uncomfortable, stand next to Kathy.
Yeah. Now I feel a lot better.
You'll be looking at her forehead.
The picture from yesterday. Take a look at me and Casey on the end.
You tower over.
Yeah, Kathy's
Somebody texted in and said, "How does Nick have the biggest head but not the biggest forehead?"
Yeah, that's a mystery of physics.
Well,
I
you
guess.
got a big head of hair.
It's a round.
The forehead matches the size of the head.
Yeah.
That's why.
Everything is proportional.
Kathy's
You're
got
just giant
Kathy's
overall,
got
you know what I mean? Big nose, big head.
Like no one ever said John Holmes had huge balls, but he did.
Did he though?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh my God! Oh my God,
proportionate.
Steve!
What?
Somebody pointed out to me on Instagram that John Holmes was on an episode of The Love Boat, and they wanted to know if you had seen that episode.
Oh, I've seen every episode,
I know.
but this is a revelation.
Have we checked his IMDb? Oh my!
Yes.
No, that cannot be.
Somebody direct messaged me this on Instagram the other day, and I meant to bring it up, and I totally forgot, and I'm sorry for doing it in the middle of this conversation.
That has to be a fake. I can't, because that would have been the time of his fame.
Yeah.
You'd have to do an IMDb and see, but he's probably got like 1,000 credits because most porn stars do. And as you scroll through, and then you couldn't go to the Love Boat because they had a gazillion guest stars, and there'd be too many people.
No,
It would
you
take
could go there
forever.
because he would be, in all those other movies, he would be himself. And in this one, he would be a character, would he not?
But they had his name. Well, yeah, you're true. They had the actual actors' names. Okay. It blows my mind. I know Peter North was on Small Wonder.
He's already scrolled through like 50 or 60 credits, and I don't know when that would be.
So if we're talking about the heyday of actually, the Love Boat would not have been John Holmes, the height of his career. Preston, you think about the time of Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
It is the 70s.
Yeah.
Disco.
We're scanning through this stuff. Do you want me to give you some of the titles of movies he was in?
Yeah, please.
Confessions of a Teenage Peanut Butter Freak. Episodes of Oriental Kitten. You know, these were when they were a little more.
They actually had a plot.
The titles.
There was a time, as depicted in Boogie Nights, where he was a detective or a private detective.
I think he was out of it by the time Let Me Tell You About Fat Chicks 5 was out. No, I can't say that one, but now he's back in 1971. Love Boat wasn't on in 71.
No, it started in 77. Well, hang on.
When was the first year for Love Boat?
It says 77. There was a TV movie called The Love Boat in 76.
It was actually the
They would
series.
use him in the pilot.
Right. There was basically the book. There was a book written by the real life Julie McCoy.
Okay.
Basically, and about what goes on these cruise ships, and that begot the Love Boat series.
Oh, you know what? You can actually search within
porn.
The Love. So what's the guy's name? John Holmes. John H-O-L.
Yeah, do that, Case, and we'll keep scrolling through this.
No.
Yeah, he's not. That's fake.
All right, it was a fake thing.
Somebody fell for it. Somebody doctored a picture of the guest stars at the beginning of the Love Boat, and they put John Holmes's picture and wrote John Holmes in the font that they would have used on the show.
It's a great job.
Yeah.
I just found it hard to believe, no pun intended, that they would have him on the Love Boat.
Okay.
No, they had Andy Warhol. So who knows?
Yeah, they had some weird people on
They
there
sure
from
did.
time to time.
Yeah.
All right.
You ever see The Good, the Bad, and the Horny?
Breaking news.
What?
I wanted to wait until I thought that this break was about to end and go to commercial.
All right,
but,
it is about to end.
So the 2023 Broadcast Pioneers Hall of Fame Gala is coming up in Philadelphia.
Yes.
And this year's honorees into the hall, and I guess inductees into the Hall of Fame include one Mr. Rodney Bird.
Get out of here.
Our friend Michael Comstock from Indre Recording sent me this screen capture.
Awesome.
In addition to Rodney.
He's going
will
in
be-
with John Holmes.
With John Holmes. Debbie Calton is also going to be inducted.
Yay for Debbie.
Also our friend Mark Zumoff.
Super well deserved.
I know all these people.
Especially thrilled. I was thrilled for all of them, but Rodney, for God's sakes.
Rodney, for God's sakes. Yeah. I'll never forget when Preston and I were flying back. We were on a golf vacation in Florida.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that Rodney was on our flight. He wasn't with us. And I turned to Preston. I go, well, now I feel good about flying home. I said, because if anything's wrong with this plane, Rodney's going to fix it.
Rodney will fix it. Well, that's huge. Congratulations, Rodney and Debbie and Zoo. That's huge.
All well deserved. I actually had dinner with Rodney when we were down at Universal, and his career of self-taught stuff, the tech stuff, all that stuff. He's a major asset. There's so much that we would not have been able to do over the years without Rodney's input.
No
He's
question.
an asset beyond assets.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying ass a lot.
That's awesome. Congratulations, gang. All right, we do need to take a break, so we will do that on a high note there. Happy National Forehead Day. To
Yes.
everybody. Big forehead day.
Thank you.
We'll come back with the Bizarre Files. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
What's new?
Glad you asked.
We get
it so that it just slowly descends.
I took video. I took video.
You did.
How'd you do this?
All right, so stand up and you'll
because it'll go back up.
Yeah.
So there's a handle that will allow you to lower the seat, and I assume he taped it, right?
He tied it.
I tied it with a bandana.
That took work. I'm impressed.
So it just sinks down slowly.
I was just so
kinda
glad.
cool.
I didn't know how it was going to react, and I was just so grateful that
impressed.
it didn't like
Slam down.
and have you fall.
You got to be careful.
All I heard was everybody in on this but me?
You had your headphones on.
I
think.
saw Casey
Yeah.
come over here and tie it, and I go, "Are you trying to kill him?" And he goes, "No, but his chair will sink when he sits in it."
Where'd you get that idea?
I don't even know.
It came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere. I saw the bandana sitting there.
Okay.
And Nick wasn't there. I was like, I wonder if I could. I mean, it was like lightning fast how the synapses were firing.
Okay. Not as permanent, but definitely some pain involved. Florence Pugh, the actress, recently pierced her nose, but confessed that she fainted in the process.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Really?
She captioned an Instagram photo that says, "When you want to be a cool grown-up and get a cool new piercing and you instantly fail, go green and then faint."
All right, so Kathy, did you faint when you got your not your ears pierced, but like you got your belly button pierced? And
No, I didn't.
She had a
didn't-
nipple pierced.
I didn't
know. I
faint.
didn't want to bring that up.
What's that?
I didn't want to
How
bring
can
that
you
up.
not bring that up? You're obligated to bring that up. Are you kidding me?
Case, my problem is looking at it. If I see it
Yeah.
happen, I'm out like a light.
Okay, so Florence went with the septum, the middle part.
Okay.
Okay, I dig. I like a nose piercing, like the
Off to the side?
Yeah, the nostril.
Yeah.
What do they call it? That's usually a stud, is it not? Yeah.
Stud.
Stud.
Yeah, the septum thing, sometimes it looks like you got boogers hanging out of your
It's just
nose.
gross.
I don't like that. Yeah, the
But I
booger
do
thing
like-
is real.
I do like the stud.
Yeah.
I think that could be cute.
It's good if you're a bull. I think it works quite nicely.
My girlfriend has one.
She has a
Wait, the
septum
septum?
piercing?
Yeah.
She
Okay.
does?
I didn't know that.
I never
Yeah.
even noticed.
Yep, she has it. She doesn't wear it all the time, and she removed it for several years, and then put it back in recently, and it never closed, which she was surprised by.
Wow.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but looks good on her.
What does she wear? Is it a hoop?
Like a little hoop. Yeah,
There it is.
A little hoop.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that I don't like that. I just prefer the stud. But so speaking of bull, Steve, when I was a kid, we had the shower curtain rings.
Yes.
I would take those off the shower curtain and put them in my nose like I was a bull.
Startling revelation on the Preston and Steve show this morning.
Okay.
Casey Boy, producer, admitted he used shower rings to look like a bull. We go down to Jimmy Glaszewski outside of One Ballot Plaza. Jim, what's going on out there? Crowd has already started to form, Tom. People want to get the exclusive on the interview.
Okay.
Can I go down for an interview?
All right, so let me ask you this. Would you look in the mirror and make
course.
noises?
Well, I don't know about the noises, but everything I did. Dude,
Did you make a face?
I spent so much time in front of the bathroom mirror as a child. I used to pierce my own ears. I would I spent a lot of time making faces and
Wow.
I know.
But I'm
I didn't have
and
any
then-
friends.
You guys make fun of me.
Yeah.
And then he would go back to college.
I was just curious what level you took it to. Would you actually stomp on the ground?
No.
You didn't do anything
That'd
like
be
that?
stupid, Preston.
Yeah, come on, man.
He was just making faces in the mirror.
It's just silly. By the way, to make Casey feel better, if you've ever taken a shower ring and pretended to be a bull, text in and let us know.
please
about
let
it.
us know.
And if you have one now and you could do a picture, we'd love to see
Yeah,
it.
that'd be great.
Without a doubt, I am not the only one to ever do that.
No, listen, I'm sure. I'm
Without
sure
a
I've
doubt.
done it, for
Yeah.
Christ's sake.
Somewhere in America
Yeah.
has done it.
There's probably a commune of people who do nothing but that.
Here's a supportive one.
Is that a BR commune? Yeah, that's a bull ring
Here,
commune.
this says, I used to pretend I was the bull in the Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And this guy, he and his cousin used to put helmets on and use red tablecloths to charge at each other like bulls. But he
One
didn't
was a
think,
bull and one was the matador.
Yeah.
He says, didn't think of the shower curtain ring, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The accessory you never knew you needed.
I know this is like Hollywood celebrity news, but why did they put the ring in the bull's nose? What was that all about?
You know, I think that's how they would actually lead the bull.
Yeah, I think they could
Oh!
connect. They could connect a lead to it.
Okay.
And
That makes
or
perfect
or they could
And most
essentially leash them up somewhere, and, and they're not going to go anywhere.
And isn't the fact that most bulls are goth, sort of? They're
Yeah, I think so.
cages and stuff.
Yeah, they do the ear stuff
body
too.
mod.
Yeah. All right, let me see. Nick, anybody texting in? One person said they've done the shower curtain ring in the nose thing, but I don't know if they were pretending to be a bull or not.
No, it could have been, something entirely
I
different.
don't necessarily. I wasn't. You guys said I was pretending to be a bull.
you said
No,
you did.
Well, I got the idea from the bull, right? Like
I got the
I
idea
never
from
made,
the bull.
I got the idea. I didn't.
Why don't you pretend that you're me?
Let the court record show that Preston, you asked if I made noises like a bull, and I did not.
I thought that was after
I would like
you
to have
intimated.
audio from what we spoke about earlier, because you said I would look in the mirror and pretend to be a bull.
All right, let's check it. We
we
have
have
a way of finding
We
out.
have to check the tape. You
We
may
do.
be right. But
Well, what did you do?
I put a shower ring on my nose like an idiot.
For what reason?
I don't
To look like a bull.
To look like a bull, I
That's
guess.
what
I don't know.
That's what I think he said.
All right.
But we could be wrong.
But I
Maybe
didn't
we just
pretend to
assumed.
be a bull. There's a difference. There's a difference between trying to look like a bull and
pretending to be a bull.
Yes.
Pretending means you would adopt a lifestyle.
And I would not do that.
Right.
Because, bulls are ornery creatures, man.
I don't like the way they live.
Her ornery creatures, man.
Yeah, that was my Lebowski right there.
That's
Oh,
what
I thought you were doing like you almost
Austin
sounded like
Powers.
Austin Powers.
No, that was more Lebowski than anything
They're
else.
ornery creatures, man. I'm a Brahma bull, baby.
Kathy, I'm trying to reel this back.
You are?
Yeah, I'm trying.
You started it.
Jesus.
Holy moly.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to move on to another story.
Okay.
We'll wait and find out that we'll find the tape.
Don't
here.
worry, we'll go back to this.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it may run through the entire show this morning. We have a clip of you from earlier
Okay,
on the show,
all right.
so we'll see. Let's see what this is. This was Casey. Let's see if he says he would pretend to be a bull or not. Here we go.
So speaking of bull, Steve, when I was a kid, we had the shower curtain rings.
Yes.
I would take those off the shower curtain and put them in my nose like I was a bull.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Like I was a bull. I didn't
For the
say
very first time.
I think there's a difference between pretending to be a bull and
Adopting the lifestyle.
I didn't go.
One could say that there's a point at which they sort of Venn diagram a little bit.
So if you put on clown makeup,
Right.
like a full clown makeup, the wig and everything,
And I didn't do the voice and all that stuff.
you're not pretending to be
I'm
a
just
clown. at that
dressed like
point.
a clown.
Okay, so you
Okay.
were
Yeah.
dressed like a bull.
Yeah.
You were just dressed like a bull.
That's it.
Where are you going out looking like a bull? Where are you going to tonight looking like a bull?
Casey, you've been vindicated. Congratulations. Amber has an interesting tradition. I'm going to go to her. Amber, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, Amber?
So much. I just the Christmas trees. The prices have been so crazy the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
We kind of started a new tradition in our family. When we go out to get the Christmas tree, we go up to them. We just ask them for show us the ugliest Christmas trees that you can, and we kind of make a game and see how pretty we can make it.
So you
And we usually just
like
give them to us.
like Charlie Brown it up then.
Yeah,
I love
as
it.
early as we can get it, and I tell my daughter every Christmas tree every tree deserves a Christmas.
That's a good
Yeah,
I like that.
No, that's cool.
That's cute.
If you can do that, that's I'm down with that.
So you take an
Yeah.
ugly tree and you try to make it a beautiful tree.
So
yeah, and you have they come out awesome, but when we first bring them in the house, it's like, oh my God, they have 3 needles on them.
My wife tells the story of my father-in-law. They were 9 kids and a huge family, and they'd get a lesser level tree, and my father-in-law would get a drill, very handy. He would remove branches from the back of the tree, drill holes, and put
It's like a hair replacement for men.
Basically, is what he was doing, and fill out the tree.
All right.
And so they would get the tree up to decorating
I love
level,
that.
and it looked great.
That woman, Amber, said something that I think could be turned into a Christmas story. Every tree deserves a Christmas.
Yeah.
I think that could be a kid's book, don't you think?
Or the loneliest tree at the lot, the one that doesn't.
Yeah.
Right, that's overlooked all the time.
But then a wonderful thing happens. It gets thrown into a wood chipper.
Right.
It's like a turn.
Then a wonderful thing, like Jimmy Durante.
Yeah.
But then they chucked it into the wood chipper.
Yeah. They start with its feet. Oh, dear God! Make it stop! You see its little animated head with its mouth gaping open, and it's the last to go in.
Branchy was the last tree
Branchy.
He was all dried up. Hardly anything left on him. But then Bill, the kindly owner, slowly fed him into a wood chipper.
If someone has the animation capabilities to turn that last little segment into a animated short, I would greatly appreciate that. Because I don't know about you guys, but I had a vision in my head of what that looked like. Branchy.
Does it look like your year this year, Branchy?
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Sports and Social. You can cheer on the Titans just steps away from the stadium at Sports and Social and Live Casino and Hotel Philly. Watch the game on a 52-foot big screen with Budweiser, cocktail specials, giveaways, memorabilia, and more. Steve, get your line ready because several cows were killed, crippled, or stolen after gunshots rang out on a Charlotte County farm.
Oh, my God. It's another catastrophe.
It is. Now,
It
listen,
is. That's really sad.
It's actually very messed up. So the owner said that the shooters pulled up on something like a swamp buggy and opened fire, similar to a drive-by shooting.
What the
but
hell
with
is that
cows.
about? So was it like a competing farm or something?
No, these cows were pets. They were not raised for beef or anything like that. There are currently no leads on the shooters, and the owners are offering a $10,000 reward for each person tried and convicted of killing the cows. It's Kim and Joe Lewis.
I like cows.
And they're just their pets. The Lewis's cows graze. They live a peaceful life. However, in the early morning hours of July 19th, several of the peaceful cows were senselessly killed by a shooter or shooters.
I hope they find them.
Kim said, I woke up to gunshots. Several sounded like a machine gun. And so I got a shotgun, of course, and I noticed them running, going in circles. Some of them were falling down. Some are obviously injured. And I couldn't shoot because I had the gun, but the cows were between me and the shooter, and I didn't want to send them back to those people.
What kind of lunatic?
Yeah, totally. They're just, they're psychos. That morning, 3 cows died, followed by another dead cow the next day. A 5th cow died recently from injuries. Also, 1 more cow still may need to be put down. All of them were potentially killed as a result of the shooter or shooters, and they are still at large. Deputies believe the shooter or shooters responsible for killing the cows were on some kind of a buggy or ATV because of the tracks they discovered at the scene. So
that's horrible.
Hopefully they will get them. Last Friday, a couple recorded footage of 2 men leaping off a boat seconds before it exploded.
Wow, that's like a movie jump.
Yeah, totally. The unidentified boaters were struggling to put out a fire on their 21-foot Baja in West Grand Traverse Bay, Michigan. Nathan Greenward can be heard yelling, "It's too late, guys. It's too late. Get off the boat. It's going to blow." As flames engulfed the passenger area, the 2 jumped off the side into the bay. Seconds later, the boat exploded. Fortunately for the couple, they picked the couple picked up the 2 men.
The couple?
And the couple, and brought them back to shore.
Yeah, a couple.
Lake Marine Services removed the destroyed boat, and everybody was okay. A Pennsylvania man is continuing to heal from injuries involving a bear attack that happened in his garage.
Oh, man.
John Schwartz encountered the bear moments outside his Montour County home. Schwartz walked into his garage to turn off a water hose, unknowingly startling a hungry bear rummaging through his trash.
What's in this fridge?
The startled bear bit Schwartz on top of his head.
Oh, wow.
As it quickly made its way out of the garage. Schwartz ran into his living room to his shocked wife, who quickly called 911 and frantically helped cover his wound. His wife, Lori, said, "We'll never forget it. It was horrible, but we're lucky."
And I'll never forget you.
That it's all that happened. He has a couple of wounds, but they'll heal. John was taken to the hospital where he received treatment for bite marks on his head, including a tetanus shot to avoid diseases or illness that the bear may have had.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on there.
You know who that bear slept with. Come on. Police responded to the scene. Within hours of the attack, a Pennsylvania Game Commissioner officer set up a bear trap to try and capture the bear responsible for the attack. The trap is filled with
pile of salmon.
Well, actually, it's filled with donuts and sugary syrup.
There you go.
And they said the smell of the sweets will attract bears to the trap.
Did it work?
Not yet.
Okay.
They have not done it yet. But
dummy, for Christ's sake, it's a bear trap.
John said that despite being attacked, he doesn't necessarily want the bear to be euthanized.
Yeah, that's very sweet.
He said it's very understandable as to why it did what it did. I surprised and it surprised me. Oh, I surprised
Is the bear smarter than this guy?
And it surprised It had one way.
I surprised you, you surprised me. Is that what you're attempting to say?
It had one way out, and that was through me, he said. So he doesn't want the bear to be hurt. This is a terrible story. A man sexually assaulted a mother and her teenage daughter on a 9-hour Delta Airlines flight, according to a $2 million lawsuit filed against the airline.
What was he doing?
The lawsuit accuses the airline of gross negligence. The court documents allege that attendants on a flight from JFK to Athens, Greece, blatantly ignored pleas for help from the plaintiffs, a woman and her 16-year-old daughter, and continued to serve the man drinks despite him being noticeably drunk and belligerent. The attendants served the clearly drunk man, who was seated next to the plaintiffs, 10 vodka drinks and a glass of wine. The man's behavior was increasingly aggressive throughout the flight, and he verbally harassed and inappropriately touched both women. The unidentified man, who mentioned that he was from Connecticut, yelled and made obscene gestures at the plaintiffs and demanded that the daughter tell him personal information, including her address. And when the teen's mother informed the man that her daughter was a minor, he drew attention from other passengers when he said he didn't care.
That's horrible.
And proceeded to reach over to the 16-year-old and grab the mother's arm. The plaintiff told Delta flight attendants that the man was making them feel unsafe and requested he be removed, or to be not removed, to be moved and cut off from alcoholic drinks, but they simply told them to, quote, be patient.
How long was the flight?
9 hours.
That's insane. Preston, I rarely do this, but I'm going to have to ask you to check your text messages right now if you have a second.
Okay. Hang on a second.
Oh, the one that I sent?
Yeah.
Give me. It's Kathy. Here you go. As a cone head. That's fantastic.
That'll be up on the website shortly.
So anyhow, this guy wouldn't let up. He kept harassing them the entire time.
Well, they have a case, clearly.
The mother requested the flight attendant change their seats, but they allegedly said that there was nothing they could do. A different male passenger volunteered to switch seats with the teen, however, and sat between the man and the mother for the remainder of the trip. After the plane landed, Delta staff allegedly allowed the intoxicated man to exit the plane without alerting local authorities or U.S. law enforcement about what had happened. They offered the mother and daughter 5,000 airline miles as an apology.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so now they're going to be sued for $2 million. And that is what I have in the bizarre file. We will break and come back in a second. We will get to the lesson question, see if you've been paying attention to the program today. We'll get trash and music news, too, so stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
93.3 WMMR. Well, what am I going to do with this?
Oh, my God.
Just go to sleep.
All right, so I have another. Would you guys? So I have a story of a mathematician, and while I was thinking about it, is that really considered science?
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it's used in science, but it's its own subject.
Let's
as
take
well.
that angle. It's used in science.
The reason I bring this up is because Jacques Tits died.
Oh my God!
The mathematician behind Tits Buildings, the Tits Alternative, the Tits Group, and the Tits Metric
Stop it. Yeah.
has passed away at 91.
Why'd you pick this story?
Well,
he's a
because he was an
mathematician.
important man.
Oh, all right. That's why.
Belgian-born mathematician Jacques Tits.
This is wild because he died in the same week Heinrich von Butthole died.
Oh, no. Oh, what a loss.
Who revolutionized calculus.
What a loss.
We lost Tits and Butthole in the same week.
I know.
Oh, my God.
What was his name?
Heinrich von Butthole.
Heinrich von Butthole.
Wow.
Well, Tits
Visionary, that guy.
Tits passed away on Sunday, leaving behind a legacy.
He's left an opening.
Why'd you pick this story?
Leaving behind a legacy of research in group theory and geometry. His tendency to name his contributions after himself suggests that he knew his tits' power. By the way, what is group theory? Because it sounds reminiscent of, well, no, that was Governing Dynamics, of the guy in Beautiful Mind.
Oh,
and I've forgotten his name.
Let's call him Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, you know. Miranda Otto, who is in the Lord of the Rings realm.
Preston, it's time to get up and to tell people of Philadelphia Miranda Otto's birthday is today.
Yes, I think it was in the third film. She plays a princess who disguises herself as a.
So she can fight.
Yes, as a soldier.
Is she not the daughter of the king as well?
I believe that is why she had to hide herself. Because
I have to see that movie again.
You do. They did really good.
How
with
did
you.
I come out?
You came out
Was
wonderful.
I good and heroic?
Of course you were.
Good.
You were eventually you were Gandalf the Grey, and then you became Gandalf the White, and
then Gandalf the Retired.
Everybody's
and finally Gandalf the Mobility Scooter.
She is 54 today. What?
Okay. Just looking at a picture of her, I know her.
Yeah, you know
I
her.
love her.
You know her, Casey?
Yeah, personally. She used to clean my house.
What the hell is happening?
I don't know. He's riffing. He's going.
I'm not riffing.
She really used to clean your house?
Yeah.
Damn. That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty wild, man. You'd think she'd have some money from Lord of the Rings.
Well, no. I mean, she used to. Now she's,
She's fallen on hard times.
Meteoric rise.
Word has it that she gives handies for fivers.
It was tenor for me.
I wish.
She's very popular in the Shire.
Well, the conversion from pounds to dollars.
Okay. Miranda Otto is 54, and she gives handies for $5.
Oh, man.
Yep. Kristen Ritter has a birthday today. It's a big one for
Hey.
her. She's 40 years old, so a milestone birthday for
When
her.
we laugh at stuff like that exchange has just occurred, is a good portion of that laugh the knowledge that we're in the Broadcasting Hall of Fame?
Oh, yeah.
That's the level that got us into the Hall of Fame.
It is. This gentleman is announcing his retirement.
Yes.
And we were all just jumping in going, oh, my God, I can't believe it. You know, and it went on and on and on.
It felt like a tectonic shift.
It did. And but the news is being broken now, and we're going to ease into whatever emotions we may have with this gentleman hanging up.
It's like that joke where they say, when the guy says, your mother died. You can't just tell me the news like that. You got to tell me, your mother was on the roof. And,
Right, yeah. He's into
You
this
have to
a little
parse
bit.
it out a bit.
So he's easing into it, and we're sad to hear the news, but looking forward to seeing him for at least the next year.
Yes.
So let's get him on now. Ladies and gentlemen, over 40 years he's been at this. Please welcome Jim Gardner from on the show. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, well, you know what? Listen, I'm gonna start with saying congratulations to you because retirement is something that I think should be celebrated. When somebody is ready to go ahead and put the career to rest, it's obviously people are not going to be happy about the fact that you're leaving, but still, it should be. I think it should be celebrated.
Well, yes, I absolutely agree, and yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to a different life experience, but I've got another year or another 14 months at Channel 6, and I look forward to every day. So it's a bit of a strange experience because there was, a lot of talk yesterday and a lot of emotions yesterday, but meanwhile, I've got another year and
right,
yeah. On the 6 o'clock news. So, what is it that we're really talking about?
Is that by design to let us, your viewers, down in an easy way, or is this for yourself?
No, yes, it's a way, that I can sort of transition to, a different situation. To tell you the truth, back in 2009, Dave Roberts retired from Channel 6, and this is how he did it. And I remember very clearly that he was working on the 6 o'clock news. He was taking the 11 o'clock news off. So when this whole thing came up a year or so ago with our general manager Bernie Brzezinski, I reverted back to I call it the Dave Roberts model. And I thought it worked very well for Dave. And I think it worked very well for Channel 6. And it was a sort of an easy or a graceful transition that I think benefited both the station and Dave.
It makes complete sense, and I think obviously, the station is going to want to do things. The city, I'm sure, will want to do things in acknowledgement of this. I think this is a perfect way to do it. You were very sweet in your commentary last night, announcing it, and there is something that happens to people who have schedules, as have we, that are off the 9 to 5 rail, and and you were saying. You have had certain things in your life, or have not had certain things in your life for 4+ decades that are quite common for a lot of people, and I thought that was a sweet way to frame it. And I was nodding to my wife because she puts up with an askew schedule, and that it was very very sweet the way you phrased everything.
You're very kind. Yeah, I mean, I look forward to that. I'm not complaining that I haven't had it for 47 years, but it is an opportunity for me to experience a more normal rhythm, of life, and to be able to linger over dinner with my wife, would be something I haven't really experienced in my lifetime.
Valley Flop Championship.
Yes,
tonight, Valley Forge. At the Valley Forge Casino. Come on out. 5 o'clock when doors open. Free of charge. 21 and over event. We would love to have you there. So we're going to do today's lesson question. The prize that we give away is a 4-pack of tickets to the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. And that's August 19th to October 29th, by the way. The question we'll go with today is... How about this? What was Tom Brokaw's one-word response to the Lindsay Lohan outfit of the day, the OOTD? In fact, he said it several times on our show this morning.
Number of times.
One-word response. 215-263-WMMR. If you happen to have heard that, then you should call right now. We'll do the trash while you're calling in.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by Monster Mania Con. See the biggest names in horror this weekend at Monster Mania Con 55 at the Doubletree in Cherry Hill. Tickets are available online at monstermania.net. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, boxer Adrian Broner using TMZ Sports to apologize to his girlfriend Treya Jarre for an indiscretion in Las Vegas, saying, quote, "None of these bitches got nothing on you." An interesting side note, Broner's first job was writing greeting cards for Hallmark.
Oh, yeah.
While Ethan Slater is dumping his wife Lily J for Ariana Grande, he also made it clear that he wants to co-parent his 1-year-old son. Slater says people tell him you can't have everything you want in life, but he believes you can if you're a scumbag.
Yeah.
And finally, top Beverly Hills plastic surgeon Dr. Ben Talley reporting that his business has exploded as a result of A-list actors booking procedures during the SAG strike. Talley says there are a lot of familiar faces around his office, and most of them are in the garbage can. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
Let's go to the phone, see if somebody knows the answer to this. What was Tom Brokaw's one-word response to Lindsay Lohan's OOTD, the outfit of the day? 215-263 WMMR is the number. We'll go to David and see if we can get an answer. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
All right, so what was Tom Brokaw's one-word response to Lindsay Lohan's outfit of the day?
Boner.
Boner. You are correct, David. Hang on. That means you, sir, are going to get yourself a 4-pack of tickets to the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair. That's August 19th through October 29th in Manheim, Pennsylvania. Get ready to live the excitement and adventure of jousting nights and royal delights. You can buy advance tickets at parenfair.com. All right, let's get to music news.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by Paramount Pictures. Cowabunga, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem is in theaters now, and you can get your hands on and shell on the big New Yorker pizza. Back for a limited time at participating Pizza Hut locations. All right, we'll start with Wolfgang Van Halen. His band, Mammoth WVH, has released a music video for for the song I'm All Right. It's on the band's sophomore album, too. The music video depicts the musicians entering into a battle of the bands. Wolfgang said, I think it's really funny that the lyrics are quite angry, but delivered through the lens of a sort of comfy rock song. If there ever was an anthem for myself about standing up for what I believe I should be doing as opposed to what people expect, this is certainly the song. And apparently, his mom, Valerie Bertinelli, makes a cameo in the video. So
I love Valerie Bertinelli.
I would like to see that. Metallica has launched the debut episode of their new podcast. It's called the Metallica Report. It's a weekly insider update directly from the band's Northern California headquarters. Hosted by two of the closest members of the Metallica family, Renee Richardson, director of philanthropy and the band's All Within My Hands Foundation, and Stefan Shirazi is a journalist and editor of the band's online magazine. In addition to the most inside and up-to-date Metallica news, listeners are encouraged to submit questions as well. You can check Metallica's socials for a new episode every Wednesday.
Interesting.
Yep. And then one last story, and this is it. Rob Halford of Judas Priest has re-recorded Living After Midnight as a duet with German metal queen Doro Pesch.
I'm not familiar.
No, neither am I. It will be on her upcoming album called Conqueress, Forever Strong and Proud, and that's out October 27th. Living After Midnight was originally released on Priest's 1980 platinum-selling album British Steel, one of my all-time favorite album covers ever.
What is that cover?
It shows a razor blade,
right?
A really large razor blade, and a hand going over, and it looks like the blades are cutting into the hand. And it just says British Steel on it. I always thought it was such a badass album cover. It's been covered by several artists, including LA Guns and Disturbed. So, Living After Midnight, a cover of that song with Rob Halford re-recording it.
I like Anne Murray's Snowbird cover album. It's a scene of a baby seals being clubbed.
Oh,
and yeah,
brings back memories of childhood.
Yeah, you know, Bill Weston gave me. I've talked a lot about this Van Halen, Brian May.
The
song they did.
Yeah.
So just by happenstance, I'm in Bill Weston's office the other day, and he has copies on vinyl of that exact record.
Wow.
The version that I've been, saying is one of the great guitar exchanges of all time.
Yeah.
But the cover, the album, I remembered that from decades ago, purchasing it. That's something that's lost.
Totally.
I
agree. You just don't get it anymore. The artwork was very, very important. All right, and that's it in music news. And we have a final break to take. We're going to come back in a second, wrap up the radio program, get your letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize. So stick around. It's coming up next.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Mike, and did you call everybody together, or did you do an individual meeting with each?
I didn't, although they've known about it for some time.
Okay.
We've had conversation about that, so it was no surprise to them.
Okay.
But I sent a memo to the staff yesterday, shortly before the station announced that there would be this pullback and a year from now a retirement. I wanted to be the one to just let the staff know that this was happening. Not that I felt that it was such a big deal that I was leaving, but there was going to be a substantial change, and I thought that it was appropriate for everybody to hear it from me. And so I wrote this memo, and shortly thereafter, the station made the announcement. And, today we've got news to cover.
That's the way you approach it, yes.
Jim, this is Nick. We've had an opportunity to chat a couple times about travel that you've had over the last few years when you've come down to Camp Out, and thank you for being a part of Camp Out over the last few years. I'm curious as to what's on top of your bucket list once you have retired of where you're going to go. What are you going to see that you haven't been able to get to yet?
That's interesting. My wife and I were just talking about going on a tour of Scandinavia. My son is taking his second semester of his junior year he's in college, and he's taking his second semester in Copenhagen. So we're going to go to visit him at some point, but it's still going to be chilly there. So I think we're going to put off a tour, and until it gets warmer and there is a more leisurely opportunity to really take in that part of the world. So that seems to be number one on our bucket list, and there'll be many more to follow, I believe.
Jim, I was curious if your timing of this, of you finally hanging it up, was so you wouldn't have to go through another election cycle again.
Well, it's funny you say that because this was supposed to end a number of years ago, actually, and there were 2 extensions. I asked Bernie if it would be all right if I could extend a couple of times, and not the last time, but the time before that was so that I could be here for the last election cycle. And I wanted to very much be present during the Trump phenomenon. I just thought it was an extraordinarily compelling political story, and I am something of a politics nerd. And, you know, you can say what you want about your personal feelings or your political preferences, but from a journalistic standpoint, obviously the whole Trump era, and who knows if it's over or not, has been just extraordinarily compelling, and I wanted to take part in that.
Okay.
And then the second extension was, you know, in the formative stages of the pandemic, and I just felt very strongly that I wanted to be here for that story. It was, you know, and continues to be a unique story that really covers every facet of, you know, our human endeavor. You know, it's on one level, it's very personal. On another level, it's very societal. You know, we go from a story of people's fears and anxieties, fears about their own health, and whether they're going to, you know, escape the fate of hundreds of thousands of their countrymen. And on the other hand, it's, you know, an extraordinary public health story. You know, it's a story where people are hoping that this economic crisis doesn't affect them. People have lost their jobs. People have, you know, suffered real economic dislocation. On the other hand, it is an extraordinary economic story on a national and worldwide level. So, you know, there's so many different aspects to it that really touch all of our lives, and I just wanted to be here for that. And, you know, the story continues to unfold.
There's a scene in the great the Patty Chayefsky movie Network where the William Holden is talking about, you know, his plans, and he goes he's gonna, you know, I'm gonna write a book. He goes, everybody writes a book. But I honestly would say I would love to read a book about your life. Yeah. If you, you know, if that's in the works. You talk about being a political junkie. I am as well. And, you know, I'd love to, you know, get some insight over your many decades dealing with everything as it has progressed.
Well, you may have to wait a while.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just include a lot of pictures because I'm not very smart.
Yeah, it's funny. I had a very, very nice email from Bob Iger, you know, who's the former CEO of the Disney company. He's still, I think, chairman of the board, and he was very, very generous with some of the things he said. But I recall talking to him at a Disney dinner in New York, and it was shortly after wrote his book, which was very, very good and very informative, and I really enjoyed writing it. But I had the occasion to say, "Hey, I read your book." He said, "Here's some advice, Jim. Never write a book." He said it was easily one of the most difficult and arduous tasks of my life, and my advice to you would be, don't do it.
Okay.
So,
Well, we don't want to cause undue stress. If it's something that floats your boat later on, yes, so you would definitely. I would definitely purchase a copy. That's all I'm saying. I also want to say, and we were talking about this earlier, is that listen, the same way we have Pierre Robert here at the station, who is an icon in rock radio, and
his 40th year is this month.
And you know, we were saying you are there is, having lived in different markets, there is none smoother than you and more competent on the air. I mean, you're
the best I've ever seen.
The best we've ever seen.
Yeah,
so
And he's the standard that I hold everybody else up to. So
Right.
whenever I travel to another city and I'm in that hotel and I turn on the local newscast, I'm like, not Jim Gardner.
ain't happening.
Nope.
Yeah. So does that create an extra onus and weight on you as you depart, or is it, how do you? Or, I assume you're not walking around with the "I'm number one" T-shirt on and all that stuff. So how do you process all this?
It's. I have always thought that 85-90% of my job takes place in the newsroom, not in the studio, and I've always felt very strongly about that. I think probably there are some people in this business who see it the other way around, where they identify most of their their work and what they're being paid for is the actual newscast.
Yeah.
And that may well be. I've just never identified things that way. I work very closely with producers, and I'm very, very engaged. Some would say too engaged in the evolution of every newscast. And so what happens in the studio is almost like putting a period at the end of a task that to me takes place elsewhere. I have never thought that I was, and I'm not being falsely humble. I've never thought that I was particularly skilled as an on-air anchor person. I've never spent much time trying to cultivate, a presence, a personality. I just read the news.
Yeah.
And maybe that serves me well. I don't know, but I've often, or most often, thought that my work in the studio was left a lot to be desired, and certainly wasn't as developed as my work in the newsroom. So, if you guys think that I've done a good job in that part of my job, then I'm grateful, but I've never seen it that way.
Right.
Oh, I absolutely, and I think part of what it is, I absolutely think that, but I think it's your delivery and the comfort that you give to your viewers. Whatever,
Hooters on 93.3 WMMR. Why won't you call me back? Great, too. Great, as you said, we were saying off air. Great summer song.
What it is, yeah.
It's got that vibe to it. It is creeping up on 10:30 on this Thursday morning on the Preston and Steve Show. Today has been a fun program. I've enjoyed it today, and dead tired, man. I woke up at 2 a.m.
It sucks when that happens.
Couldn't shake it. Couldn't get back to sleep. Tried, and so just came into work, and I'm fried at this point. But fortunately, get a little bit of rest time before our event tonight. All ready to go for a little party.
Yeah. Sometimes when the hours are, and obviously we have the sleep number beds and they're great, but obviously sometimes occasionally with our erratic sleep patterns, that will happen where you will your body says, okay, we're up now.
That's very
and
rare.
that's it, yeah.
But it happened last night, so I'm happy I made it through the show without falling asleep. It was the light coming off of Kathy's forehead.
Oh, my God. That's so mean.
That kept me awake through the morning.
It's like the Great Gatsby with the green light across.
I would like to thank Marlon Wayans
Yay!
for being on our program today. He is going to be at the Parks Excite Center on the 12th. It's a Saturday night, and the show's at 8 o'clock. Tickets available at parkscasino.com. And then we had Tom Pop on, who we just love to death. He's going to be at the Freeman Arts Pavilion in Selbyville.
It should be Shelbyville.
It was on his website. It was Shelbyville.
Good.
In Delaware, Sunday, August 6th at 7 o'clock. Tickets at tompapa.com if you'd like to order through that. No problem. All right, letter of the day.
I got you.
Case is going to handle that, and let's get it now.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by The Letter.
V as in Valley Beach.
Ah, very good. I want to thank, well, let me tell you what the prize is first, then I'll thank our sponsors. All right. Tomorrow we're going to give
tell you
this
about
away.
Fat Chicks.
Tell you about Fat Chicks 5. A 4-pack of 3-day tickets to see Jelly Roll.
Yes.
And many more artists at the Tidal Wave Music Festival, which is August 11th through the 13th on the beach in Atlantic City. Jelly Roll is performing live on Sunday the 13th. Tickets are on sale now, and you can go to tidalwavefest.com for complete details. Text Jelly to 39333 for a link to Sarah's recent interview with Jelly Roll and another chance to win a pair of 3-day tickets. So do that, why don't you? Now I can thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show is... We'll keep looking at these pictures of Kathy with the forehead. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you by Duncan. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan. Also by Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, Citizens Bank Park, August 16th and 18th. Tickets at phillies.com/Springsteen. Tomorrow in our program, we're going to recap the Belly Flop Championship.
Oh, yeah.
Which is tonight at Valley Beach, Valley Forge Casino Resort. Come and join us. Doors open at 5. Free admission, and we would love to see you there. We'll also have comedian Gary Owen in the studio tomorrow, too. So it's going to be a fun day on the program, a No Sad Bro Friday. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day. Pierre's and next. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Mm-hmm.